All right, we live, y'all. Welcome to the first episode of the Not Afraid to Lose podcast. I am your host with the most, Macalot. Sure, hold on. Quick, let me get everything together. Make sure y'all share the live. What's going on? Okay, there we go. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on right now. Okay, we got my guests in here. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, E?
Oh man, I'm chilling, man. What's good with you?
Oh man, not too much, man. Getting it together. Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up on my tablet so I can share this thing. Yeah, man, I got some great questions ready for you, man. And towards the end, I got a little game I wanna. So I hope you know your local sports superstars, your history of it.
Yeah, I think I should be all right with that.
Yeah, the names I got, I think they're well known, so you should. If you don't know them and you being one of the greats out here, we're gonna have to take some points away from you. If you
Yeah.
don't know these people's name, but uh all right, shout out Roscoe. I see Roscoe in here, Tina Gangs in here. Y'all share the live. Please share the live. This is the first episode of the Not Afraid to Lose podcast in honor in honor of Trey 43. I got this other one on. All right, y'all. So yeah, we live and direct, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm let him introduce himself, y'all. So Eric, can you tell us a little something about yourself, as far as where you from and your upbringing?
Oh yeah, I'm from right here, Stockton, California. Deep North Side. I grew up right across the street from Valverde Park. So yeah, grew up over there. Went to Tokay High School. Played some football. Did Delta College, Modesto Junior College. Kind of bounced around. Got a football scholarship. Played in Arkansas. Went to Arena League.
No,
Went to
no,
the
no, no,
NFL.
don't go so far deep. We just want you. I'm gonna
Okay, so
get all
yeah,
that later.
okay,
I'm
my
gonna get
bad.
all that later. Yeah, we just
Okay, I'm
want
from
you to
Stockton, California. Yeah,
yeah,
so there we
Stockton,
go.
California. Okay, did you raise mom and dad?
Nah, so I think my situation, and this is something that I don't even think is like super public knowledge or whatever. But nah, my dad Brian Crocker, he was kind of in and out of jail and everything like that. So mom pretty much raised us. My family's from San Jose,
Oh,
um,
okay.
back and forth from San Jose to Stockton. Now my biological father is from Stockton.
Okay.
So
Deep.
that is not Brian Crocker. That's someone
Uh,
else
oh,
who's
okay.
he like played ball with like went to high school with Booker Guyton and those guys and everything like that. So my biological dad, his name Michael Johnson, but a lot of
Michael
people don't know
Johnson.
that.
I know a Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
Older guy. He got a son named Michael Johnson too.
Yep.
Light skinned it.
Yep.
That's
Well, I
my.
wouldn't say my dad's light skin. He really like
No, I'm
me.
talking about the son that's named Michael.
Oh, okay. So there's a few. I mean, a couple. So there's MJ, who is like my oldest brother. You know what I'm saying? And then there's little Mike Johnson, who's my younger. He's like so little Mike got to be my boys are 18, so he like 19 right now.
I'm talking about somebody that's older than you. He's my age. The Michael I'm.
Nah, 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 nah.
Oh
Oh, nah. I think I know who you talking about out of Sacramento.
no, he out of Stockton. He out of Stockton.
Okay, yeah, nah,
But I
that nah,
seen him in years. He like family to me, but I ain't seen him in a long time. Okay.
yeah,
Oh, that's something we didn't know about you. Okay, yo.
yeah, nah. Nobody really knows that. So I remember I was at football practice over at Edison. And Booker Guyton had asked, he's like, man, Croc, like, where your family from? And I'm like, really, they from San Jose. Um, But I was like, but my biological dad, he from here. He was like, man, who? I was like, Michael Johnson. He said, not my Mike.
Yeah.
So after that, I would randomly have, you know, folks from the South Side because he grew up Boss Tracks and all that.
Yeah. See,
So I
this
would
might be
randomly
the mic. This might be a mic I'm thinking about, man.
yeah.
You know, because that's where I come from, Boss Track. So I
Yeah.
probably do. I probably do know him.
Yeah. So my dad, but I mean, he older. I mean, he what 62, 63 years old. So
Yeah, I know the OG. I know the Boss Track OGs. I've been
yeah.
in Boss Track since I was 12 years old.
Yep. So yeah, now
Detroit.
he was around there. He was around there. Played basketball, hooped. Um, uh,
Mm-hmm.
shoot, yep. Played college basketball and everything.
Yeah, I think I might know him, and that's the thing too that messed up a lot of those sports players back in the day. Either the jail system or the drugs, you know, messed up a lot of the greats that was from Stockton that would have been even greater had it wouldn't have been for the system and then the drugs hitting Stockton. You know, because my uncle was one of the dopest basketball players out here, and the drugs got a hold of him and messed everything up for him. But let's
Like
get
after
into
shut
this.
happened to a lot of people.
Let's go ahead and get into this now. This is in honor of Trey 43, and you do have some experiences with Trey, right? You know who Trey, right?
Yeah, man, and my dude, man. I coached him what 2019 at Edison. So this is Trey's senior year, and Trey was awesome. He was a dude that I was going through a lot of different things at that time while coaching, and always had like just a lot on my mind and all that. And he was someone who every day I practiced, he just figured out a way to kind of, I don't know, make me smile. We would, whether he squirt water on me or, whatever it is, right? We kind
Yeah.
of play these little games or whatever. But he was, really good energy, good spirit. He was someone who all the kids followed. I mean, he was the skinniest dude on the team, but he walked around like he was the biggest, buffest dude, right? And
Yeah.
that was how his teammates respected him as a leader.
Yeah.
So now Trey, his approach to being a leader, being that guy out there, being the playmaker, he was awesome. He was awesome. So I was excited to see everything moving forward. I know he had started his business, cleaning out the trash bins and things like that. Which at the time when he started it, I was thinking like, man, people do that. Then now especially us, I look at my garbage. I'm like, dang, I could see how someone could go through and make money doing that, and that could be a legit business. So,
And you know, people are actually starting to do that now.
are they? Yeah.
People, I actually seen other people doing that now. It's like, dang, that Trey was a young innovator. Like he started something.
Yep.
Like nobody ever thought about cleaning your trash outside. You know, and it's weird that we never thought about it because we clean our trash inside the house, the kitchen trash. We take it out, we clean it out. You know, juice spill in it. You know, we clean it out. So I don't know why nobody ever thought of that. So he was ahead of his time with that, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
Trey was cool though. I love coaching him. He's another one of those guys that kind of like set the standard high. And every time I'm coaching over at Edison, I would always compare these teams and groups of kids to the 2019 squad, which was led by Trey. So
I'm glad you mentioned compare. I was going to ask you, is there any other player through your knowledge of sports out here that you could compare? You would compare Trey to, like
nah, he was different. He was different because he was out there. It was like he fit everything that the kids were, but then again, he was a great leader and a good kid. I wouldn't even know who to compare him to. I mean, especially at the quarterback position, he
Yeah.
was a playmaker. He wasn't like the fastest guy, but he'd run around and make plays. He had a really good arm, strong arm, especially for somebody who wasn't a big dude. And he was just fearless. He was fearless, even down to that season. Our season ended on a 4th and 10 out in Folsom. We could have kicked the field goal to go into overtime, but the offensive coaches had decided, now we're going to go for it on 4th and 10, and he was fearless on that throw too. So all the way through, man, is again just not the biggest dude, but I guess like the podcast said, not afraid to lose. That was really how he went about playing the game of football.
There is one person I think I would compare him to. I don't know if you know him, but my little brother, JJ John Joseph, who went to Edison, who played quarterback for Edison also. And both, I compare them because they both had strong arms. They both wasn't really that fast, but they can get busy when they took off. And they both was also basketball stars. You
Yeah.
know,
See,
so if
so
I
yeah,
had,
no,
if I had to
I'm
compare
familiar with
somebody,
JJ. Um, yeah, I'm familiar with him. You know, I hooped against him or whatever in 24-hour fitness and everything. And
oh
and
yeah,
he was someone who, again, because I didn't have like, super South Side ties to know everybody that was, from the Edison and all of that. I knew some people and whatnot, but he was one of those dudes where, it was hard to not notice him anytime, he walked into a room. He had a certain aura or confidence about himself.
yeah.
So yeah.
Now they both up there balling together. Okay, for sure. Uh, at what age did you start playing organized football? And were you good like from the start of it, or you just really had to develop?
Now, I had a very unique situation when it comes to football. I think a lot of these dudes, right? Everybody got all these dudes that played Pop Warner. They were just ballers all the way through. Me, I played 1 year of Pop Warner. That was it. It was sixth grade, and we had a squad too. It was like me. Shoot, hold on. When I said we had a squad and we had ballers, we're excluding me because I was not balling on that team.
Oh, okay.
But the guys that were like, the starters, they man, ballers. Jeff Johnson. Uh,
Heard about
yeah,
him.
Jeff Johnson, you had Billy Smith, you had you had my guy. Well, we were backups. Me, Terrell Pruitt, Tommy Bush.
Oh,
We
Terrell.
were
Oh,
all on
you
that
that young?
squad.
Oh, you was in high school with little Terrell Pruitt?
Yeah, we the same class, '05. Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know you was that young. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
My
So
little homie.
this was sixth grade that we all played together.
And you
And there
said
was
Tommy.
more too, but
You
there were
said
more
Tommy
dudes.
Bush.
But
Tommy Bush too.
yep, Tommy Bush was on that squad.
RP, little
RP
Boosie.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like me, Tommy Bush, Terrell Pruitt, we didn't get like a whole lot of playing time because the Billy Smiths, Jeff Johnson, uh, DJ Rogers,
What
uh,
team? What team was this?
the North Stockton Bengals.
Oh, the Bengals. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Go. Dope. That's dope. But eventually, you did. Oh, well, that leads me to my next question, which you kind of answered half of it already. Did you have any success in Pop Warner in high school?
Yeah, nah, not really, man. So Pop Warner, again, I only played 1 year. I think a lot of it had to do with, just the financial aspect of it, Um, back then, mom, 3 kids and all that. So I didn't really get to play a whole lot of organized sports. Um, and then when I got to high school, actually my freshman year, I moved with my dad, Brian Crocker, out in Fresno. So I went to Sunnyside High School in Fresno.
Mm.
He ended up going to jail. So I came back home to start my sophomore year and went to Tokay. Because, again, I grew up literally right across the street from Valverde Park. So from fourth grade on, outside of that 1 year of going to Fresno, I was right across the street. And, people don't, I think the OGs know this, but a lot of the kids now, they're like, wait, what? How'd you go to Tokay? There wasn't Chavez and McNair. So
Yeah.
McNair and Chavez opened up literally the year I graduated. So I graduated spring of '05 from Tokay, and then in the fall,
So
Chavez and McNair.
everybody on that other side of Hammer went to Tokay. Went to
Yeah,
Tokay.
West Lane. Yeah, if you lived on this side of West Lane, you went to Tokay. If you lived on the other side, you had to go to Bear Creek.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, that yeah, I didn't really have much love like that in Pop Warner. And then when I got to high school, I was small. Like I was small getting into high school. I shoot, 5'5" as a freshman. I wasn't like big or anything like that. I remember even my sophomore year over at Tokay, one of the coaches wouldn't even let me play defensive back, and I wanted to play DB. My big brother, he was a standout defensive back for Lincoln High School when they won the section title. And yeah, BJ, he balled out, had 7 interceptions that year. So I always wanted to be like my big brother. And the
Yeah.
coaches was like, "Oh, you too small. You can't play cornerback." So that was my sophomore year of high school. Wouldn't even let me play defense because they felt like I was too small. And then obviously junior and senior year, I got to be 6'1" and some change. And but the issue there was, the kids, they, I think they're kind of spoiled now, right? Like we we show them all these ways of how you can make it, and if you kind of follow this path. Well, I didn't have that growing up, so I didn't know that uh, it was realistic for me to be able to go off to college, play college
Mhm.
football, and things like that. So I messed around with grades. So I was ineligible the last 5 games my junior year, ineligible the first 5 games my senior year, and then I went to Delta from there. So I didn't have like this crazy. I felt like I was talented, but if you don't ever have anybody ever telling you like, "Hey, you're actually like hella good. You should really lock in on the academics, and if you do these things, like you can go to college." Like nobody ever told me that ever.
Yeah.
So I kind of just was whatever about school, and the sports and stuff. Even though I felt like I was kind of talented.
And
That
then
was
you
kind of how everything went in high school for me.
and in high school, you didn't really have a name out here because we didn't care about Tokay. Just to be honest,
Yeah.
Southside kids, we didn't look at Tokay as being a factor in this. So it's kind of hard to have a name out in the city coming from Tokay. Had you would have went to Edison or Franklin or some, or even Lincoln, maybe a
Or
lot.
or even if I would have grown up a little bit more, playing more like Pop Warner and everything,
Yeah,
I
Pop.
think
Yeah,
that would have helped. But I didn't really play. I only played 1 year and I was a backup. So yeah, like I kind of just flew under the radar a little bit with everything.
yeah. So who were the main guys when you were in high school? Like who was the names in the city in high school back when you played? Not
Oh,
just your
we
school.
so yeah. So let's say getting into high school again. My brother played at Lincoln. So I was in the 8th grade when he was a senior. They won a section, and obviously, like their team was loaded with Tyrone Gross, Ramon Glasgow,
Long Glasgow.
all those dudes, and then obviously following after that was like Lewis Rankin, so
Louis Rankin.
Peter Mal,
Yeah.
and what those dudes were. But like my years specifically, if we're talking about like my junior, senior year,
Mm-hmm.
and we had there was some ballers, dude. Like Kevin Brown was balling over there for Franklin.
Oh, Kevin. Yeah.
So you had Kevin, you had Trayvon Harrell, which me and
Kevin was good.
Trayvon,
Kevin was good.
Kevin Brown.
Yeah, he was good like that.
Oh man, he scored like 30 touchdowns our senior year.
Oh wow, I didn't know. That's my little cousin dad, and I played a lot of turkey bowls with Kevin. He
Yeah,
always
yeah,
acted
yeah.
like he was a shit too, though.
Nah, he was good. He
Yeah.
was good.
Okay.
Kevin Brown was good. And then Trayvon Harrell, me and Trayvon lived across the street from each other, but Trayvon somehow ended up going to Franklin. And he went crazy his senior year.
I don't know a Trayvon Harrell. I may have to see
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Who
Yeah.
who
So
else? So who
Trayvon,
was?
he bought out. You had Billy Smith playing over at Lincoln. He ran for like 1,700 his junior year. No, 1,900. He was just shy of 2,000 yards his junior year.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Billy Smith went crazy. Uh Obviously my junior year you had like Lavelle Hawkins. So I played against Lavelle. Uh we played over there. Yeah, we went to Edison and played Lavelle and them. And it was a good game. It was actually a good game. We had
So
I'm
Lavelle
trying
must
to
have been
think.
like a senior then, right?
Yeah, Lavelle was a senior when I was a junior.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
I'm trying to think. Anthony Crosby.
Oh,
So St. Mary's was loaded that year. I think my senior year, St. Mary's went to a section title game. So they had Willie Tuatama at quarterback.
okay.
Uh and he ended up being a 4-year starter at University of Arizona.
Arizona.
They had
Yeah.
Anthony Crosby. Crosby had a full ride, went to Oregon State. They had John Estes, who's now he's a line coach over at with San Jose State, but Estes went on. I believe he went to Cal, went to the NFL, played in the NFL offensive line. They had about 3 or 4 offensive linemen that went that went D1 from that
Mm.
St. Mary's team. So yeah, I'm trying to think of everybody right now off the top of my head, but yeah, there was a lot of good football players during
St.
that
Mary's,
time.
St. Mary's is always loaded though. They always be loaded over there. It's like it's kind of unfair with them. As I heard you state too, like you never beat them in nothing.
Oh, yeah. I just talked about that, and that's the goal. I see people talk about the standard, football in our area and everything. I think it starts with St. Mary's,
Yeah.
with what they've done, and that's what people are striving. You do you, and you control what you can control, and you get your guys ready for whatever as much as you can. But I'd be lying you know, at least me just being honest, like that's the team you got to slay. They haven't lost to a Stockton team since like 2013, and I think that was Stag. So, St. Mary's, they're at the top of the hill right now, and it's going to take somebody to knock them off. And that's obviously a goal of ours heading into this season at Edison.
Okay, for sure. After high school, what college did you attend, and did you get any offers?
Yeah, nah. So no offers coming out of high school. I went straight to Delta, and this was at a time where it was okay to go to Delta. Now I think everybody's kind of shying away from going to Delta and whatnot. But I went to Delta, and I just struggled, bro. I struggled academically again. Now I'm on my own. I have my own little apartment. That wasn't no good for somebody like me that struggled academically and whatnot. So I played my freshman year. I did okay. Had a couple interceptions. Excuse me. Had a couple interceptions. Started like half the games. There was some other dudes that were good. Shout out to my guy, Leandro Jenkins. So man. We had Mikey Smith. I'm trying to think. Johnson, Garyon. Like we had a lot of talent on that Delta team. Didn't have great success though for whatever reason. Team was loaded, and we just lost. I mean, I think we went 2-8 that season. So really wild how you could have so much talent on the team and lose. But after that, man, I ended up flunking out of junior college.
So with you being a coach now, do you think not having good success like that, was that a coaching problem?
No, no, it's not a coaching problem. I think it would have taken a coach to put me under their wing. That would have been nice. I think that would have helped. So I know a big thing that I strive to be when I go out here and I coach is be the man in these kids' lives that I needed. So everybody's situation is different. I think we have really good coaches. Shout out to Coach Reyes. I think Coach Reyes, a lot of kids had a great relationship with Coach Reyes. And, he was a really good coach. We had a lot of really good coaches. Coach Jackson was amazing. But I think for what I specifically needed, I needed somebody to really like kind of hold my hand a little bit because I just, never really had that. And because I didn't get that, I kind of messed up. And, you got to look at yourself though first. And it took a few years of working random jobs. I worked at Walmart. I worked at Target. I worked at Babies R Us. I worked at warehouses. So I work at the Pilkington Glass warehouse out in Lathrop or whatever.
Babies R Us. Oh, that was inside. That was like connected to Kids R Us, huh?
Nah, Babies R Us was in Trinity Parkway. So over there, it's right around the corner from my house right now.
Oh, okay.
But out in Spanos. So, I worked over there. I did all kind of stuff. I did security. I did a bunch of stuff. And it wasn't until probably a couple years later, 3 years later, my best friend, my bro Donald, he had got out of jail. It was like, man, we need to be playing football. And then Coach Jackson, again, he was the guy who was on that coaching staff at Delta my freshman year. He was like, man, Croc, like, you're too good to not be playing football. And I'm like, really? And that sparked that thought of going back. So I actually went back to junior college at the age of 21, when for most people, I think it's over by then, right? Like, you play the freshman year, you're out 3 years from football, and then you're trying to go back. But I did it. And I think at that time, I just had a way different focus. I had a different mindset. I had a son, and I'm like, I just want my son to know I went to college, I tried. You feel me? So it wasn't even about, going pro or anything like that. It was just about trying to figure out how to get an education so I can preach education to my son. And that just parlayed into a whole bunch of other opportunities football wise for me.
Because now you playing with a purpose. So it always go better when you playing with a purpose.
Yep.
Definitely. Okay, so I'm aware that you made it to the NFL. Can you tell us what it took for you to make it, and how was that process and the experience of that?
Oh man, it was a crazy process. So from MJC, I went to Modesto Junior College, and it was even a struggle getting me eligible.
Oh, so when you went back, not to cut you off, when you went back to school, you didn't go back to Delta. You then went on to MJC, Modesto Junior College. Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
my mom was staying in Modesto at that time. I went out there, stayed with her, and she was like, just focus on school and whatnot. So man, I went out there, met with the coaches. They were like, all right, let's do it. They looked at my grades. They were like, man, it's gonna be a challenge to get you eligible, but we're gonna help you. And they really
You
helped
had
me,
grade troubles all through high school and all up to college too, huh?
man, all the way through, man. Like, but again, I had a different focus, and I had people that told me they had my back, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that really really helped me.
Yeah.
Uh, over at Modesto Junior College. So, they helped me get eligible, got my grades right. Shoot, I made the dean's list, had straight A's for a whole
Mm,
semester.
dope.
Uh, yeah, and that was my first time. Like, all right, you can really do anything you put your mind to. I worked my butt off. I got strong, and next thing I'm out there on the field and I'm balling. Now I'm 21, going on 22 years old. Like I'm older, I'm more mature, I'm more focused, I'm locked in. My body's more mature. And I think all those things really helped me to where, by the middle of the season, my phone is blowing up. I'm getting colleges from all over, hitting me up about, giving me scholarships and stuff like that. My clock was messed up, so I couldn't go D1. So that there were Division 1 schools that were like, oh, we want this big corner over there at Modesto Junior College. But I couldn't do anything with it because my grades and my clock was all messed up. So I had to go Division 2. I had about between D2, D3, NAIA. I had like close to 15 offers, and I ended up going to University of Arkansas Monticello. And for a Stockton dude like me who had never been out of state, I had never stepped foot out of the state of California when I was 22 years old. So I didn't know what anywhere else was like. I didn't know what the weather was gonna be like. But when I was looking up some of these schools, I'm like, okay, that's a bad weather school. I ain't going there. Okay, that looks crazy. Nope. But UAM played against great comp. It was like the number 1 Division 2 conference that they had. Like we played against, there was North Alabama, West Al, Valdosta State, Delta State. I mean, there was a lot of big dogs, and I got to play against a lot of great competition. So
Now it's dangerous out there in Arkansas. Don't tell me where were that? Was it in Little Rock?
no, I wasn't in Little Rock. I was about, but you fly into Little Rock. You fly
Okay.
into Little Rock, and then you drive about hour and some change south. So I was like literally on the border of Mississippi and Louisiana. I was like 20 minutes, 30 minutes from both Louisiana and Mississippi. But yeah,
Yeah.
Little Rock was yeah, I like, I ain't like kicking in Little Rock like that, but I had teammates, that lived in Little Rock, so I'll go out there and do things with them, and it was a little treacherous out there,
Yeah.
but
I watched a lot
it
of.
wasn't nothing that we not used to being from Stockton, so
Yeah,
it
yeah,
wasn't.
right. Because I watched First 48. Well, I used to watch First 48. Little Rock was one of the ones they always had Little Rock on First 48. So that
Yeah,
scared me. Like, oh, I don't want to go to Little Rock. And then I had experience when I was moving my sister out to Georgia, and we stopped to get a room in Little Rock, and we ended up something treacherous almost happened, and we had this. While we was waiting, we had to get up out of there. We said, "Oh, sis,
yeah,
no, we're not staying here tonight. Let's go." We jumped on and we continued our whole way to Georgia from that point on because
yeah.
it was a situation where we almost got robbed, stopping late night trying to get a hotel.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah,
I was,
yeah. Nah,
oh,
Little Rock. Just Arkansas in general. It's a different kind of state, and there's two different sides to Arkansas. Like you have, I'd say above Little Rock is more like Midwest. You know what I'm saying? It's more like
mm,
Midwest vibes. Missouri's over there, Oklahoma. You got all that. But when you go below Little Rock, it's the dirty South. Like it is the
okay.
South. So it's different.
So your
And
process. So it took you all the way to Arkansas. So how did
yeah.
the NFL come about?
So first, it wasn't even the NFL. It was the Arena League. So my senior year, my big cousin Tyrone Gross, he reached out and was like, "Hey, um, he actually," and this is just crazy how God works, right? It just happened to be my senior year. I'm finishing up, and Tyrone hits me, and he's like, "Look, I'm about to be a general manager of this arena football team in San Antonio. So, I can't guarantee anything for you, but if you don't have any NFL or CFL looks after you finish your season, I'll give you a shot in training camp. That's all I can guarantee for you. I'm like, bet, say less. So my senior year ended. I did well. I was all league or all conference and everything, but I knew I wasn't going to go to the league, with how I played and whatnot, especially coming from a Division II. It's not like I was going to run a blazing 40 time or anything like that. So I just moved straight back to California. I actually stayed with Tyrone, and he trained me to get ready for the Arena League. And at that time, I didn't even, I saw Arena League on TV when I was a kid, but I didn't really know a whole lot about it. But you got a guy coming out, and I think my rookie year is not like I made like a bunch of money, but it wasn't even about the money. I was making like, shoot, I think after the little holdout thing, it was like 1,000 a week or something like that. But they paid for everything.
Not bad back then.
Yeah, they paid for everything. Like they paid for your housing. Like, so we stayed in these nice ass apartments. We stayed in some nice apartments. I didn't know what to expect with the Arena League, but we're flying to different states, almost every, weekend. Like I'm in Tampa, Florida. I'm in Iowa. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, flying around. So you got a dude that's 24 years old, fresh out of college, being able to fly around, play football, get paid. And, the one thing about professional sports too, you don't, you're it's not like you're just there at the facilities all day. So I think I probably, we'd start early, let's say 8 a.m., 7 a.m. By noon, we're done. So I just got the rest of my day. We chilling, having a good time, all, teammates, homies, all this stuff. So that whole experience was great. But when you talk about NFL and even the thought of it getting in my head, it was during my rookie year, because I'm looking around on this team and there's a lot of dudes that either played at big Division I schools, played in the NFL, played in the CFL, and there was a dude that just got cut from Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? And we finished up one of these practices, and he's like, "Hey, Croc, like, hey, bro, why you here?" And I'm like, "What? Like, what you mean?" He said, "Croc, like, bro, you supposed to be in the NFL. Like, you tight like that." I'm like, "What?" Nobody had ever said that to me in my life, ever. That like the NFL should be any type of goal or on my radar. Nobody ever said that. So that was the first person to say that. And then fast forward, let's say mid-season, my guy Jerry Brown, RIP Jerry Brown, he passed away. He was with the Cowboys. But we were both rookies that year. He left mid-season to go with the Colts. And he DM'd me on Facebook. I still got the message and everything. But he DM'd me and was like, "Hey, Croc, the coach just asked about you today. So whatever you're doing, you know what I'm saying, just keep balling." Right. So so I'm like, okay, let's go. So the way the NFL came about after my rookie year in the Arena League, which I started every game, we had an awesome team. I came back home. There was a UFL tryout for the Sacramento Mountain Lions. I tried out. I didn't make it because I didn't have like NFL attached to my name, and everybody they kept had NFL attached to them. But there was an agent there, and he was like, "Man, I could help you. You know what I'm saying? Like I can help you. Well, I can help you get to the CFL or something." I'm like, "Cool." So I hired him. He was helping me with like arena stuff. I'm like, "Bro, I already know how this arena is. I don't need you for no arena stuff. I don't need no agent for the Arena League. Help me get to the CFL." And I remember him saying like, "Man, you got to crawl before you walk," or whatever he said. So I'm like, "Man, I ain't trying to hear that." So my guy Devin Mays, shout out to D Mays.
Yeah.
Devin Mays had an agent, and Tyrone was like, "Hey, Croc, like, give Devin Mays' agent a phone call. D Mays been getting all these CFL workouts. Maybe his agent can help you." So I called his agent, and I'm like, "Hey, my cousin told me to call you." He was like, "Okay, yeah." He told me I'll be hearing from you. He was like, "You got a highlight tape or anything?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I sent him the link to my YouTube highlight. I'm on the phone with him. He's watching it, and he's like, "Ooh, okay. Hey, and let me hit you back. I think we got something here, right?"
Yeah. Dope.
So then he hits me maybe like a week later. He hits me and he's like, "Hey, the BC Lions in the CFL, they're gonna fly you into any workout that you want to go to, but you got to fire the agent that you got and sign with me." I said, done deal. First of all, at that point, I had never fired nobody from anything. So that was hard for me. I'm a good dude. It was hard for me to fire somebody.
Gotta
But
go.
yeah, I fired him, hired the new agent. He was like, all right, let's work. And I kid you not, bro. Like, it's crazy. Um, in the next 2 hours, he hits me. Hey, the Colts, they want to bring you in for a workout. I'm like, what? The Colts? And he said, hold on, somebody's calling. He hung up with me. By the time he called back, it was like 8 to 10 NFL teams that wanted to fly me in for private workouts. So the first team was the New Orleans Saints. I flew in. New Orleans flew me in. They worked me out. They liked me. They liked my workout. I didn't run a fast 40 time. So it was like, man, you don't know how to run no 40, huh? I was like, nah. So they were like, all right, we'll bring you into rookie mini camp. We just won't offer you a contract right now. But if you ball out during rookie mini camp, we'll sign you. I'm like, cool. Got on the phone with my agent, told him what's happening. He said, fly to California, work on your 40. So I flew home, got with Sonny. Shout out to Sonny. This is why Sonny's a legend.
Sonny Larkins.
Right?
Straight
This is why Sonny's a legend, man. I got with Sonny for 3 days. 3 days and only 1 hour each day. And he just trained me on just my start. So boom, Philadelphia Eagles fly me in. I work out for them, ran a better 40 time, but was too out of shape doing my workout. Then 2 weeks later, the New York Jets flew me in. And then obviously I ended up killing that workout, ran a good 40 time, and the Jets ended up signing me.
So let me not to cut you off. So tell us, what was your 40 time originally? And then where did it end up?
Man,
because I want to know, were you slow, or was you just slow?
Yeah, slow. So, man, for the Saints, I ran a 4.71.
Ooh, that's a lineman damn near.
4.71. But the thing with the 40, man, it's so technical that if you weren't a track guy growing up and you don't know how to, explode out of a stance, understand how to cover more ground in your first, 10 yards, drive phase, all that, you can mess around and run a slow 40, unless you're just naturally just super fast. But I wasn't naturally, I could run, but I wasn't like hella fast like that. So I need to know how to run it. But I mean, Sonny really worked diligent with me on that, and he got me down from a 4.71 to a 4.53. So the 4.53, at almost 6'2", that's what got me signed to the NFL.
Because I was going to say, because I wasn't that fast, but I believe I could have ran a 4.7 my damn self.
Yeah, but once I learned how to run it, I was firing out of there. And
I think I can run a 4.8, 4.9 right now at 44 years old. So that was dope.
The hard part is that endurance, keeping that stride going. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may be able to even get out good, but that last like 20 yards, being able to keep power through, keep the legs turning over, that's the part that kind of slows some of his OGs down.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. So you got it down to a 4.5, and the Jets ended up signing you?
Yep. So the Jets, they had Rex Ryan at that time. So shoot, man, they signed me. It was kind of surreal. Like, you think of everything that went through to get there, flunking out of Delta, having a kid at a young age, working, the warehouses and Toys R Us, Babies R Us, doing security, working at Walmart. You think of all those things that you did, and just the decision to go back and be locked in and be focused, and just the opportunity that presented to me to have a shot in the NFL, like it was really crazy.
Yeah. So how did that work out far as the NFL experience for you? Did you get to play any preseason games or any real games?
Yeah, but I eventually got let go. The thing about the NFL, one, amazing experience, especially like somebody coming from my background, just to have a shot there, because it's like less than 1% of people in the world that are ever able to. I think it's like 0.01% of people sign an NFL contract. So just to do that in itself was pretty remarkable. But once you get there, you realize right away, like, okay, these dudes, they're regular dudes. They just got more money than me. But as far as the talent, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get to the league and everybody just finna be hella tight. And you get there and it's like, oh, these dudes like they good, but they good like I'm good. I'm good too.
Yeah.
So then, a lot of it is, the roster politics, hoping things kind of go your way in the sense of not saying you want people to get
Somebody
injured.
injured. Yeah.
When you're at the bottom, you need some things that are fortunate to go your way. And unfortunately for me, I got released when Joe McKnight. It was Joe McKnight, Brian Winters, and Chris Ivory. They were all hurt, and they needed to assign people to play in those. They cut somebody from a place where they have more depth. So that was kind of my situation. But just the experience in general was, it was dope. I learned a lot from Rex Ryan. Just how he was as a coach. I got the opportunity to play for a lot of different coaches throughout my time playing football from college all the way to the pros, and he was a very unique one because there are a lot of coaches who you'll have the players coach, or you'll have a coach that's super smart X's and O's, or you'll have a coach that's a really good teacher. And for him, he was all three. Like, he was a master motivator, great teacher, great X's and O's, and players coach.
And he's a defensive coach at that. So he's
Yeah.
kind of in your favor on that too.
Yeah. So, and he was a defensive coach. So Rex Ryan was dope. It was awesome being with him. I had Coach Tim McDonald, and Tim McDonald played with the Niners in the 90s.
Yeah.
Super Bowl team.
Tim was our safety.
Yeah, he was our defensive back coach. Yep, strong safety, number 46 for the Niners. He was our defensive back coach. So, I got to, learn from him and see how, things were done and stuff. So, I don't know. It was almost like, God gave me a glimpse at something, and it was like, look, man, go, you got this opportunity. Now go back home and see if you can help some kids accomplish some of their goals and their dreams.
So
by some of the things that got me there.
You kind of just felt like, hey, I reached my purpose. I'm kind of, you washed your hands and you hung your cleats up after that.
Nah, shoot, I ended up going back to the Arena League. They had a draft, and I was in this draft, and I was a number 1 overall pick, so I thought that was dope. Like, okay, number 1 overall pick.
They had a draft for the Arena League.
Yep.
Number 1.
Number 1 overall. Yep.
Oh, dope. That's dope.
So I went to Portland. Was out there for the year. I balled, did my thing. I had 11 interceptions that season. So I had a great time out there, and that ended up making me a really big free agent at the end of the year. So now I got a lot of arena teams. I could have went CFL. I know Tim Brown was like, man, Croc, like, they was asking like, why you didn't come. I had an issue with getting my passport at the time to be able to go out there. So I ended up going to San Jose, playing for the San Jose SaberCats. Shoot, I even got my championship ring right here. Got my
Oh, you won a ring? Was Arbet the coach there?
Yep, Darren Arbet. Yep.
Yeah.
So Coach Arbet, I got to play for him, and Coach Arbet, he was awesome. He was a different cat for sure. But it was something I needed though to understand, like, structure, discipline, and really being uncomfortable. Like he had everybody uncomfortable, like the players uncomfortable, the coaches uncomfortable, but it was good because it forced you every single day to be the best that you can be. Otherwise, he's gonna get your ass out of there. So I loved that experience. It was probably my most like miserable season playing, in the sense like it wasn't as fun, but the things I learned, I learned like it's hard winning. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's hard to win championships, especially you starting to do that at a high level. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of resolve. It takes a lot of everybody doing their job. The coaches got to be on point. Everything has to really be in alignment for you to win a championship at a high level. So if there was anything I took away from that and how Arbet did things, man, he had everybody. Grown men. I'd say more than half our team played in the NFL. Dude's been playing. Dude's making money, all that. And when we're doing a walkthrough, we standing on that line. Toes couldn't be on the line. you ain't hearing a peep from nobody. Everybody's locked in on whatever is going on during the walkthrough. I mean, you talk about Bill Belichick type uh disciplinary, but we needed it. And I think that was the reason why we were able to win and really have the greatest, or arguably, if not the greatest, season in Arena League history. We lost one game that entire season. So
Yeah.
it was dope. We had a lot of talent, though, a lot of talent on that squad.
Bringing him up, bringing Coach Arbet up. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the homie is his son or family member, son Ryan Arbet, one of the best to come out of Stockton. Also,
It went to USC, right?
Yeah, Ryan was hard. Yeah. I think it took an injury or something. I think he injured his knee or something. But Ryan was hard. Ryan was the man out here, man. And that was the homie. So I was proud of him for doing his thing. And he went to USC for sure. All right.
Our bet was dope, man. And I wish that parents could like just get a glimpse of that, right? Like just what accountability looks like. Because now when you try to hold kids accountable, it's like you hating on the kid or the parent. Oh, why you do this to my son? When really it's like it's all out of love. Like Arbet didn't do anything that he felt, wasn't best for the betterment of the program. You know what I'm saying?
I believe he went there the same time Armand Holland. I think they was there together. It may have been USC together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Probably,
yeah. You know Armand, right?
Nuh-uh.
You gotta know Armand Holland. He coached at the factory. I thought.
I don't coach at the factory.
Well, you be around. Yeah,
I'll be up there.
Okay, yeah, but he coaches as St. Mary's now. But he was dope. He was one of the dope ones from Stockton. I think he was linebacker or something. He was a beast. All right, so I see you transition from player to coach. When did and what made you want to coach?
All right, so you know what the real reason that really sparked it was? Lateef Grimm, his son had 2,000 receiving yards in the season.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing that and being like,
God
damn. Yeah, like, man, that's crazy, right? 2,000 yards. And I'm thinking like,
he did that for
also
McNair.
He was at McNair. And obviously, like, Darion was a great football player. How bad are these DBs too? So I wanted to kind of get into coaching to help, like, just defensive backs. Like, is there anything for DBs training wise or other to help teach them technique, teach them some of the things, some of the stuff I ain't even learned until I was 27, 28 years old playing pro football. That's what sparked it. So my first coaching experience in general was coaching Elevate with my guy Vince Carter. So this is 2016. This is the first year of Elevate, the very first year of Elevate, like having 7-on-7. So he just asked me like, man, can you come and help with the tryout? And I'm like, sure. So I helped with the tryout. He's like, man, everybody loved you. Like, you want to run the defense for the high school team? I'm like, sure. And then he comes back to me and he's like, hey, you think you can you coach a middle school team for me too? I'm like, cool. So I'm coaching the high school team. I'm coaching the middle school team. The middle school team, it's just me. It's just me. I'm the only coach. But the kids I coached were Jonah Coleman, Jacob DeJesus. I had Noah May, who was a terrific quarterback. He ended up going to St. Mary's. I had Trey Breckenridge. He was on that squad. He was hella little at that time. I had Jared Gibson, who ended up being a starter and everything at Sac State. And he, he's in the CFL now. So it was a loaded squad. I was the only coach, coaching all these kids. So that was kind of like my introductory to coaching high school football between those middle school kids with Jonah and Jacob. Jacob is just finished up at Cal.
He balled at Cal.
Yeah, did his thing, caught over 100 passes. Man, I had some ballers, man, and it was fun just seeing those dudes as little kids, and then watching them grow up. So between them and then the high school kids, a lot of the kids that we had at that time at Elevate were with Lincoln. So like Short, shoes. Who else? A lot of those kids, man, that were super talented. But that was kind of my introductory to coaching, really at any level.
And I'm sure the guy from Cal De Los, what's his name?
Yeah, Jacob DeJesus.
Yeah, De Jesus. I'm sure he'll be in the NFL soon, and like Jonah is finna enter the draft this year. So
Yeah.
how does that make you feel that some of these players that you coaching are getting ready to hit the pro levels? You know, because that's one thing I always wanted. Like, man, when some of these kids that I coach gonna go up there and hit these pro levels and send Coach Davis some tickets?
My thing with that is I just get enjoyment out of watching these kids live out whatever their dreams are. So whether it's Jacob and I went to several of his college football games, or Jonah, I went to several of his college football games. I get so much joy out of watching them, be able to just go out there and do something that they love. Or it could be like my guy Andrew Jenkins, who I love Drew. And Drew is a kid that I coached in the 707. He went to St. Mary's. He ended up going to San Jose State. Now he didn't go to the NFL or anything, but out of college, he landed a 6-figure job with Apple. You know,
Yeah.
And all the things that he's doing. I mean, he's just doing amazing things right now. So I just get enjoyment. Like the kids I got an opportunity to coach. It ain't about like NFL or anything like that. It's about seeing kids live out whatever their dreams or aspirations are. So that part feels good. Not
being
because like
being successful.
yeah, and not because like, oh yeah, I helped them get there. Like
Yeah.
not even that. It's just seeing somebody do something that they enjoy and love doing. That's really just awesome, and that's the major reason why I coach.
And it's big, yeah, because we don't just coach kids just for football. We coach kids on life too. You know, we're not just football coaches, we life coaches too. We try to get the kids on the right track and to be successful in life, not just on the football field, but be successful in life. And that's why I look up to Coach Prime, because I feel like that's what he does a lot. You know, Dion, he does his thing coaching, but we got to be mentor to these kids and not just be football coaches. You know, we got to be life coaches out here.
Oh yeah, not for sure. I mean, that's the biggest part. Like football only lasts so long, and that's why I tell these kids, right? And I'll have this conversation with a lot of these Edison kids as well. Like, why are you doing this? Right? I'm gonna push you. I'm gonna push you hard, and some of y'all, aren't gonna play a whole lot, but I'm hoping that with whatever it is that they strive to do in life in general, they take some of the teachings that I instilled in them through football, right?
Yeah.
Just hard work, dedication, accountability, being on time, um, knowing that somebody can look to you to know that you're going to get the job done, whatever your responsibility is. That's at every job that they're going to face
Yeah.
in their
It don't
adulthood.
just equate to the football field, it equates in life, in any thing that you're doing in life. You know, all those discipline and all that stuff, responsibility, all that equates to stuff that you're doing in regular life in general, not just on the football field.
Yeah.
But since you brought up Edison, let's get to the elephant in the room. All right. From my understanding, last year you became a first-year head coach at Stagg High School, in which you had a lot of success. But just a year later, you have left Stagg and became head coach at Edison. Can you tell us about your experience with being a head coach at Stagg? And then if you can let us know why after the success at Stagg did you decide to leave?
Yeah, so first I want to start by saying, man, shout out to Mr. Tolliver, Coach Nguyen. Those were guys that believed in a vision and a different direction for Stagg. Coach Norton had been there for a long time, like damn near 40 years
Yeah.
over at Stagg, and another almost 20 or so as the head coach. So following those footsteps like that's big shoes to fill. And I went in there, and a guy that maybe didn't have a ton of, I don't have as much coaching experience as other people. I don't, but the one thing that I make up from not having a lot of coaching experience, obviously I have playing experience. I take that, and all the different coaches and everything, in the places I've been, the people I've been around, and I've seen my guy Vince Carter build, elevate from the ground up, and just my passion. So I understood how to essentially, get a certain level of energy infused into a program. I understood how to market or brand it, with a lot of the stuff that I learned from Vince Carter. So once, so it kind of came about. I was reached out to about. First of all, prior to that, I was coaching at Edison. So that's a part I think that people didn't. I don't know. A lot of people knew that. Like I coached at Edison. I coached years at Edison. Uh, so when this came about, initially my thoughts were no. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm cool. Like, I love coaching with my guys that I coach with over at Edison, and we had great rapport. It's like, I didn't want to break the band up, and I never coached to be a head coach or anything like that. Like, I'm passionate about football. I could be a defensive back coach for the rest of my life, and I'm good with it because I'm passionate about DBs, what that looks like, and just really being with that group. So I didn't have any aspirations of leaving Edison. But obviously, my name came up, and I had to think long and hard about that one. Talk to my wife a lot about it, and she's like, because we always felt like Edison was like our family, just the vibes and the people, and our kids run track with the factory, so there's the Edison ties with all of that. Uh, so there was a lot that went into it, but ultimately, there were people that believed that I was the guy that was going to help, you know, I don't want to say turn Stag around because again, Coach Norton had done an amazing job, but really just kind of breathe a different type of energy into Stag.
Mm-hmm.
So, I ended up applying. I got an interview. I went into the interview and gave it my all and laid out how I felt like I could really revamp things. And they bought into a vision and they allowed me to really. I mean, it was almost like, hey, Croc, you do your thing, we're gonna get out the way, you know, and and they let me do that. So, first year there, I took over a program that was 4-6 the previous season, and I felt like, all right, I'm looking at the schedule. I know we're in the SJAA. I felt like there was a big opportunity to win games if we approach the offseason, whatever I felt like was the right way. This is my first time really running the program, so I just gave everything, every ounce, every minute, every hour, every part of my attention was focused on how can I get these kids to buy in to doing something that may be different than what they're used to. So again, shout out to everybody that helped along the way with admin and everything. They let me do my thing. The kids bought into it. There were times where I was cool. There was times where I had to be kind of a hard ass, but I think they respected me and they really bought in. They really bought in. So we were able to maximize my talent, the talent that we had there. I didn't think we had like the most loaded roster, and I think there were things that um, we would have improved on drastically this offseason. Before year one, going over there winning the most games, a Stag had won in over a decade.
Yeah, you did a hell of a job. You did a hell of a job.
Yeah, that was sweet. That was sweet. And I had no intentions on leaving after the season. So that was kind of like, just going to Stag and everything and how they embraced me. That part was amazing.
Yeah, definitely. So what came into the decision? I know the opportunity presented itself with Booker leaving
Yeah.
Edison. So what really went into the decision to go interview for the head coach at Edison, due to the fact that you already got success, you already got something going on at Stag? What went into that process?
Man, so obviously we all knew, people in the coaching circle kind of knew what was going on over at Edison. I mean,
I did.
I'm
Well, I ain't in the high school
oh,
thing, but I that caught me off guard with Booker leaving. But go
oh
ahead.
yeah. No, I knew about a lot of the stuff that was going on and everything going on with Edison. Not even just that, but just other things that were happening. And I didn't plan on acting on anything. When I saw that uh, it was official that Coach Book had stepped away and was leaving, it was open. I actually had one of the buddies reach out to me and was like, "Hey man, you finna apply for that Edison job?" I'm like, "Nah, bro. Like I'm good. We at Stag State. You know what I'm saying? We good." And
That sound like
and that was
just the way
that
you
was real.
said that. That sound like Tim.
Nah, it wasn't Tim. It wasn't
Oh,
Tim. It wasn't Tim. It was actually my dog Derek Graves. So
okay.
Graves had hit me.
Shout out Derek
And
Grace. He's doing an amazing job at Chavez too.
yeah, nah, he's doing an awesome job over at Chavez. And so he had said that, and to that point, it didn't really cross my mind or anything like that. You know, I believe in being where your feet are. You know, so I ain't looking years ahead and these different opportunities or anything like that. It's like, bro, I'm a high school football coach. You know, um, so I'm kind of seeing what's going on, and I'm hearing who they kind of like, and some of the things that may transpire, whatnot, and in the way that things, I'm trying to not to say too much, but the way things like kept playing out with the situation and how long the job was open, because it was open for a really long time. It wasn't like, okay, season end, they, like let's say with Stag, when I got hired in November. So that was like right when the season ended, boom, everybody applied, they did their interviews. By Thanksgiving, I was the head coach at Stag. This Edison job, I mean, it was pushed out for months. So it's sitting open for a while. And I had no intentions on applying. And, things kind of, one thing led to another, one thing led to another. I'm kind of seeing what's going on. And then, I had a buddy of mine reach out. And it was one of the hard things, too, because it was a situation where I knew I was not going to pursue it. But I knew if somebody that I knew from over there reached out to me and was like, Croc, uh, I think you should be somebody that applies for this job. It would be hard for me to not do it because I know how much I loved it over at Edison.
Yeah.
So that was kind of how that whole thing played out. And even then, it was just like, it was tough. Like, what do? Do you do the conventional thing, which is okay, just stay at Stag and keep building, or do you follow your heart, and go somewhere where not only you coached and you've found your footing as a coach, but a program that you see, an opportunity to really take the next step even within that program and take it to super high heights, doing things, a different way. And I mean, Edison could have been any school, and I probably, you know, because of how I felt about what it did it. They could have been a terrible program, and I had bad kids, and I probably still would have did it because I just loved everything about Edison and what I felt like it embodied. So the vibes and everything like that. So now that was a tough one. It was tough. It was extremely difficult. A lot of prayer, a lot of conversations. Talked to a lot of my buddies. Some people like, nah, don't do it. Some people are like, I can see why you want to do that. So after talking about it a lot with some of the homies and everything, I think I waited almost till like one of the last days to actually apply for it. So then eventually, once I put my name in, boom, I'm all in now, and was all in on whatever I need to do in the interview to make sure that I did get the job.
So did you ever think about, hey, maybe if I don't get it, it's gonna look bad that I'm trying to leave Stag? And did that ever play in your mind? Like, man, maybe they, or was it the opportunity where if you didn't get it, you would still remain a high school coach at Stag? Or did it ever play in your mind that, hey, if I don't get this job, maybe Stag gonna cut ties with me? Did that play?
um, no, so one thing about me, I'm a very confident person, and I feel like once I claim something, like that's mine. So I didn't even think about if I didn't get it. Uh, for me, it was like once if this is what I'm going to do, then I'm going to do everything to make sure that I got it. And I went into the interview as if it was like game day. It was game day for me.
Yeah.
And I was really locked in on my vision and having a vision for Edison, to ensure that Edison is a great school, not just for football, for academics as well, for a lot of these kids, and just the vision that I have for it, I think aligned with what maybe they were looking for, along with everything else that I, brought to the table. But nah, I didn't even think about like, oh well, what if you don't get it? I
You
I
knew it was
knew
kind of you knew
now I do this like I'm doing this like this is me, and I felt like I claimed it.
and it stayed open for a reason. You know, God worked in mysterious ways. Like it was destined to happen. Definitely due to the fact how long it stayed open. Like you
Yeah.
said, you applied for it late. Um,
If they had closed it a week earlier, I would never even had applied. Like I would have never had the chance to.
before I
I'd
get
still be
into
at that.
this next part of what I want to get into, people also need to understand you left Edison to be the head coach of Stag. So people need to also put that right. Wasn't you coaching Edison a year before you went to Stag?
Yeah, for years before. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think people don't, because there are a lot of, oh, what about the kids? And it's like, well, what about the kids when I left
Yeah.
Edison to
Hold on.
go to
That's what I was
Stag?
going to ask
I
you.
had a great
Did you
rapport
face?
with,
That's what I'm going to ask you. Did I kind of seen some stuff, but did you face backlash for leaving Stag after 1 year?
um I would say I heard things, there was one thing that I responded to on Facebook, just because I felt like there were some things that were being said in there that weren't, 100% facts with the situation. But overall, I like nobody came to me and said anything. So I would hear like, oh man, this and that. I don't know. I didn't see or hear anything. So I don't know. But I mean I heard through other people.
You seen some stuff, or you heard some stuff? I know.
Yeah, yeah, I would hear from other people like, and not even like a lot. You know how it is, man. Uh so you can have 1,000 people congratulate you on something, but the 5 people that maybe don't like it, that's gonna stick out to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So for every person that was like, man, congrats, like, we know you love it over at E House. There may have been some people too that was like, oh nah, like he should have stayed at Stag. And it's like, I say this, high school football, you're not really getting paid a lot of money,
Yeah. At all.
at all. If you're getting paid at all. So if you're gonna put the time and effort into everything that goes into, pouring into these kids and everything like that, um, you know, just be somewhere that you really love and in your heart know that's 100% where you want to be. And I ain't saying that wasn't Stag, but I know it's 100% is Edison. So that kind of went into that.
And people need to put in perspective too that them themselves, they're gonna always do what's best for them, what they feel is best for them. So if you felt like this was best for you, like they should congratulate you. Like, okay, this is if this was best for you, then go be great. Go be great.
But yeah, but people don't like when people choose to do something for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like people act like they like that. They don't like that though. They
See,
want you to they want you to do things how they want you to do it.
Yeah, and I've been lost to that because I do a lot of stuff that may not be best for me, and I need to get into that mind frame of I got to start doing what's best for me, no matter who gets mad about it, because I'll be like, oh, I don't want to ruffle no feathers, I don't want to do this, certain times, and but at sometimes you gotta do what's best for you, and no love lost, like when I moved, I switched, I didn't coach what four different Pop Warner teams. At times I felt like, hey, I felt like this program is moving a little funny. And then I went over here to the Yellow Jackets, and I've been over there because I felt like, when people were trying to get me to leave, I was like, they ain't done nothing to me to make me want to leave. It's been great. So it was like I'm gonna choose to stay, and just like you said, what made you start coaching when Graham caught 2,000 yards?
Went crazy, yeah.
And you was like, damn, well, who's coaching these DBs? That's the same reason why I kind of want to get into high school football now, because I go to these high school games, and that's why I want to be the offensive coordinator, because I'm like, who's calling these plays? Bro,
I'll say this though. Here's the tough thing with high school football when it comes to play calling, right? Um, uh, let's say I'll use last year as an example as Stag. We knew that we had some limitations, right? We did not have the best quarterback situation. We had a lot of linemen that were playing O line for the first time in their entire life, like first time ever playing football, right? So we really worked hard to maximize what our kids were, but we understood that there are certain deficiencies within what we do that can end up being a problem. So we had some misses and stuff in the first game against Liberty Ranch, and we lost that football game. And Liberty Ranch, good football team, went 10-0 in the regular season. We lost. We ended up we went on to win 8 straight games, right? But people see the wins; they see us scoring 40+ points a game. Me, though, I know that we're not as good as it kind of looks. You know,
Mhm.
no, we're able to get by on certain things, and we played. Tokay, that was a hell of a game. So we had some tough opponents in there, but I knew that we could be had. We really need to continue to try to level up and continue to play better because we have some of these deficiencies. So when we played Chavez, and I remember heading into that game, uh, telling the kids, even bring them up before the game, like, I don't think y'all realize what we playing for. Like, y'all told me that you guys wanted to win the league championship, but the way we're practicing doesn't exemplify that. Some of the efficiencies offensively didn't exemplify that. And then we saw the ramifications of that come game time where, we we threw 5 interceptions in the first half, just something crazy like that. Now, I've heard some parents like, oh, the play calling was bad. It's like, bro, we were fighting all season with one hand behind our back. We were just able to hide it. Like, y'all just didn't know. But it reared its ugly head against a really good opponent in Chavez,
But
But
when you winning, they ain't saying nothing about the play
when
call.
you win it, but and they don't know that these conversations are going on in house. So I say all that to say, like, sometimes the play calling can look bad, but it's hard to do things at a really high level, um, and get the play calling to go exactly how you want if you don't have certain guys capable of executing.
Hmm.
I could try to maximize it, and I felt like we did.
Yeah.
We ran for over 2,000 yards. We were air raid offense and ran for over 2,000 yards. We leaned into something that we felt like we could do well at and take some of the pressure off of guys that we had playing quarterback, which we had a receiver playing quarterback for a majority of the season. But we knew at some point, I'll tell you this story real quick. We played West High School, right? West out of Tracy. First play of the game, we throw the ball, boom, interception. I hear somebody in my headset, "What now? Can we just run the ball?" And I talked about this, right? Process over results. What's our process? We can't throw the ball. So we have to try to build up some type of confidence in these quarterbacks, some type of rhythm to be able to throw the ball more because we're going to need it when you play Tokay. You're going to need it when you play Chavez. You're going to need it if you go to the playoffs. And we weren't quite able to get that aspect of our game down. Um, so I think people could watch the Chavez game and we got our ass kicked. It's like, oh, I would call better plays. And it's like, you probably wouldn't have because we were really fighting with hands behind our backs, trying to make something work. And it just was extremely difficult. And we maximized what we were able to do out of it, which was solid. Like, how again, most wins in over a decade at Stag, but to win a championship that way against a team that was a really strong opponent, it was always going to be extremely difficult for us.
And I know how much you probably wanted that game too, because you're going against your homeboy in Graves.
Yeah,
Like, you just kind of like bragging rights. You really want this game. You
yeah.
really want this game. Because they at the top of the league that y'all in. So like, man, this will be a chance to show what we made of.
Well, the competitor in you really wants it, right? But for me, it's really more so about the kids and what they want.
Yeah.
And they told me when I first got there that, oh, we're gonna win the league championship. So it's like, all right, but now I'm gonna hold you guys to that, and we got to do everything that goes into winning the league championship. And I don't think they quite understood that until you get your ass kicked. And then now it's like, okay, you go into the offseason. All right, like okay, now we need to focus on this. And I'd say day one in December where we got on the weights, we had over 35 kids in the weight room, which at that time last year it was at like 10. So that's when you start to see the buy-in, and then you build off of that. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I left, so I kind of came to a halt. But just in the sense of understanding how to win, Chavez had gone through that, right? Like they went last year, and I think I think their path. They didn't have to play a Chavez in the championship game, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah,
The Chavez I played this year and where they were, like I was kind of where they were the previous year.
the previous year.
But
Yeah.
when they played for a champ, the team really was McNair. It was like Chavez and McNair had some really key injuries. They didn't have. Not saying that they still would have won, but I think that changed the trajectory of the game a little bit, where McNair didn't have Corey Waters or Skylar Bell, the quarterback. So those things, it hurt them, and Chavez did what they were supposed to do. They won that football game. But this year, Chavez was a much different football team than what they were even the previous year. And they had
Mm-hmm.
a lot of different adversities and things they had to battle through as well. So everything went peachy. I talked to Derek Graves. I know, different things they had going on. But he did a hell of a job coaching and getting those kids on track and getting them to, buy in and believe. And to have a 10-0 regular season was really remarkable.
Yeah, okay. So we're gonna let the yesterdays be the yesterdays. We're gonna move forward with Edison. Now that you're at Edison, what are some of your goals that you're looking to accomplish in your first year of coaching there, or being the head coach there?
Man, one of my biggest things, man, one of my biggest things, there's some kids who I feel like aren't maximizing their abilities for whatever reason, right? Whether they're distracted or whatnot. If I can get those kids to get on track and have a good senior year, that would be a win for me. Because I know if I get those kids to have the type of season I believe they can have, then what does that mean for everybody else? So that's going to result in wins. You know what I'm saying? So a big challenge is to get some of the guys that aren't 100% bought into what it takes to win. If I can win those guys over and get them to truly understand what it means to be a champion and how you got to prepare, we're gonna be trouble because the talent,
Talent is
the day
there.
the day I showed up, you know what I'm saying? I show up and there's colleges on campus. I'm pulling kids out of class. We're meeting with University of Idaho. We're meeting with, and I'm looking at these prospects. I'm like, oh, this is different. Now again, I was only going for one season, but even just when you're at Edison and then you leave and then you come back, it's like, okay, we
How
got a
much?
lot of talent.
So at the thing, I just recently found out. So I want to see how much do you think that affects you losing one of the future stars that was arising at Edison with Deion Sanders?
Oh man, little boogie. So yeah, that hurt me. And I understand the situation and how things played out. Dez was, and I shared this with the kids too. It's not a secret. Like that was my favorite football player. People who say, "Oh, I don't have," I got favorites.
Yeah.
My favorite kids are the kids that do everything right. And I also love the ones that don't do everything right. Those are some of my favorites too. I got some of those in Stag as well. But Dez, he was the example every day as a freshman. He
Mm-hmm.
started every game that he was healthy for us, broke his wrist. He's still out there getting interceptions with a Mega Man cast on. So Dez exemplified everything that I wanted guys to be in this program. Relentless, fearless, throwing his body around, smart, tough. If you say, "Hey, I need you here at 5:05," he gonna be there at 5 o'clock. He's not gonna miss a day of weights or anything. He exemplified everything that you want in your program. So when I found out that he had left, it was somewhat of a shock, but I understood things that were going on. But that was tough because that's my guy. That's my
Yeah.
guy, and I want to continue to use him as the example of what happens when you don't take. He ain't the biggest or fastest, but he just plays his ass off every single play,
And
and that's what you want for all these guys.
one of the things I found out about Dez too, coaching Dez was 7-on-7. Like probably one of his better qualities is he's like a coach on the field.
Yeah.
Dez know how to read defenses and different stuff. He came in one time, coach. They're playing this coverage. Send me on the comeback. And I'm like, hold on. I didn't even think of that. Okay, let's do it. Write it up, do it. Boop, 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 wide open. So it was like coaching him made my job easier because he was a coach on the field with me when I had that 7-on-7 squad, and it had most of the players. That's Edison, Zoe, Bari, Vaughn. I had most of those guys at 12U on flag football, and we did a lot of great things. So I do think that is a loss for a coach not to have a player of that magnitude, because I believe that's probably the only kid that I ever coached in my 15 years of coaching, 15 years in tackle football and 4 or 5 years in 7-on-7. That's one of the only kids that ever had a coach's mind frame that knew how to read the defenses and different stuff like that. So
yeah, a lot of times with kids you hear like, oh, coach, we can't do this, or coach, we need to do this, but they don't ever tell you why or how, or even parents, right? We hear the parents in the stands, run the ball. It's like, all right, well,
and usually
run?
when kids tell me stuff, if they ain't got a reason why, I'd be like, let me do this. I got this. I'm the coach.
Yeah.
But I had to listen to Dez because he didn't just tell me, throw me the ball, this and that. He's like, this is why we should do this play because they're in this coverage and this and that. I say, you know what, kid, you're right. Let's do that.
He's a special kid. He's a special kid.
But before I let you out of here, I do want to wish you the best of luck on your new journey at Edison. Wish you much success there. Edison was my home high school. Definitely being a South Side kid, Southwest kid, going there. So before I get you out of here, I like to play this game. It's called Either Or, and I've done it kind of different this time. Either or, if you was building a high school team, tell me which athlete would you take? Like sort of like you getting the draft. You got first pick in the draft of the arena ball. So I got a few names here. Hopefully you know all these athletes. All right. First, I want to start off here because I know these two close people. There could be no wrong answer in any of these comparisons. But I want to start off building a high school team. Are you going with Tim Brown or Lavelle Hawkins?
Those are my dudes. I'm going with Lavelle over most people. And the reason why was like, I had the opportunity to play against Lavelle. And we actually jumped out in that game 13-0. We jumped out on Edison. And that was a team, that was an Edison team that went to the section title game that year.
And that was Lavelle was playing every damn thing on the field.
So we jumped out 13-0, right? I'm at corner. So I'm guarding him. He's at receiver. We jump out on him. Next thing I know, we kick the ball off. You know what I'm saying? You're kicking it to him. You're scared to kick to him. He's at quarterback. And then you turn around, he's at safety, and he's doing everything. And he was so impactful that it's hard to even fathom, like, just everything that he was on offense, defense, special teams. You need me at receiver. You need me at quarterback. You need me at safety. Want me to blitz through the A gap. Want me to show I'm blitzing through the A gap and drop back, into a deep third and still pick the ball off. And then, you got to punt the ball. You're punting to me. All the ball's bouncing. Nobody's going to touch it. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to crib it. Like, he just had so much command of the game that it's hard to go with somebody that just affected the game as much as him. So if I'm building a team, I think it starts with him.
All right. Now the next one, now hearing that he your cousin, I'm like, oh, this may be a little biased. Hopefully you don't be biased. But we're going to go with Tyrone Gross or Lionel Hamilton.
Ooh, so L Train was cold. But Ty, ooh, I mean, though, you can't go wrong out of one of those, right?
None of these is wrong answers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my big cousin. Tyrone was so unique, man. I mean, somebody 5'9" in high school, he's like 210. He's running 4.4. Like, he was, I mean, just a load running the ball, and nobody knew how to tackle him because he can go low on you and he dip on you, boom, and run you over, or he was so agile and he just make you miss in space and then dip on the next person and then outrun everybody down the field. So he was just so he was different. But I know he was a dog though. Hamilton,
Yeah,
L
like that
Train,
was
he was a
dog.
dog. But yeah,
And
I'm going with T Gross.
see, and it's crazy because Gross, I never let him live this down because he he has my moment. He has the moment for me in my Pop Warner career. You know, he started with the Vikings and he went over there to the Trojans, right? Which we thought he a traitor. So my moment, I played Tyrone varsity, and they did a like a flea flicker pitch pass where they pitched it to him, and he went to throw the ball. And as soon as he threw it, I came through and I smacked him, put him out the game. Put him out the game. He probably gonna act like he don't remember that because I talked to him. He laughed like, yeah. And because that's a moment for me that I never forget because he was the man in Pop Warner, you know, and in high school. So that memory always stuck with me when the Vikings played the Trojans and they did this trick play, this pitch pass, and he threw the ball, but he also made his way to that sideline after.
Got him up out of there.
All right, let me get to this next one. This should be a good one because you did mention him. Building a high school team. Are you going to go with Lewis Rankin or Tremaine Johnson?
Tremaine was another one that was a do-it-all guy. I think because I already got my running back with Tyrone Gross, because Lewis Rankin was different, right? Like he was a straight up and down runner, and he would hit that hole and go untouched. And just outrun everybody. So it was different. But I'll go on a different route here, and I'll go with Tremaine because I know I like him, you know, at safety, on defense. Obviously, he played corner in college at Montana. You know, but he was a do-it-all guy on offense as well. So I could put him at quarterback. I know they have Brandon Dunlap playing quarterback at times too during that time at Edison, but I put him at receiver. I could put him at safety, at defensive back. So I kind of like this team I'm building right now. I'm gonna go with Tremaine.
All right, now this I don't even like comparing these two young brothers, but hey, they like the goats locally of the city. You go on and you coach one of them. You going with Jonah or Raleigh?
Oh, I've coached both of them, man. I coached Raleigh.
Oh yeah, you did coach Raleigh.
Edison. Yeah. Oh, that's a tough one. They're so different. I don't know. I feel like I gotta plead the fifth on this one.
Like if we was on Drink Champ, this is like, give me the shot. I'm taking the shot.
Yeah, give me the shot, man. You know, I thought, especially in high school, Jonah was a true running back. I mean, just a load to bring down, running through guys, could still outrun guys. You had, I mean, Raleigh was out there. It was like a video game. It was too easy. The way that his feel that he had when the ball was in his hands. And shoot, when we went up to Folsom, we played Folsom, and we lost in the last seconds. We didn't even play Raleigh at running back. We played him at receiver. He had over 200 receiving yards in that game. So that was the type, and he had an interception in the red zone. So, you know, he was different. Raleigh was different. Jonah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
We're gonna give you a break on that. We're gonna give you a break on that one.
Yeah. I gotta plead the fifth on that one.
All right, I'm gonna take it back a little bit, man. Hopefully, you know these. They came before your time. They came right before my era. Frank Strong or Larry McDonald. I'm sure if you never saw him play, you heard lots of stories about these guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Frank Strong. I'm gonna go Frank Strong.
Back in the days, Frank Strong was the Raleigh and Jonah. That they would have been like, hold on, I don't know. L was nasty with it. You know, I'll be biased with L from my hood, from my neighborhood, Boss Track.
Yeah, McDonald cold too, though. Larry McDonald was cold.
Man, and not only in football and basketball, he was the Steph Curry before Steph Curry.
Yeah,
shooting from half court. All right, so you got Frank on that one. All right, here we go. I got one one newer, one more recent one, and one old school, but they both had good NFL careers. You going with Brandon Cooks or Webster Slaughter?
Ooh, I mean, Webster Slaughter, he was a guy. He's kind of like the pioneer of receivers
From
in
Stockton, definitely.
Stockton, for sure. I mean, we grew up, just knowing all about Webster Slaughter and what he was doing and out there, playing with the Cleveland Browns, and but also to see what Brandon Cooks has done, and through like his first like 7 seasons, I think 6 of them he was going over 1,000
Wow.
yards. I felt like he was
Like
probably the most
315.
underrated. Yeah, I thought he was probably the most underrated receiver in the NFL, because he was just productive everywhere he went, and the fact that he's still in the NFL. He was drafted 2014, I think. That Odell Beckham, Mike Evans, uh, Devontae Adams.
Oh yeah, he's
He
a good class. Yeah.
Allen Robinson. He was in
And he
that
went
class.
second round too, huh?
First round, into the first round, I believe.
Yeah, first round. Okay, yeah, he did.
But yeah, that's a tough one. I'm gonna lean Cooks, but Slaughter is the pioneer though. He's the
Definitely.
pioneer of receivers coming out of Stockton.
All right, these next two,
Pro Bowl too. I think Webster Slaughter was like a Pro Bowl receiver too.
yeah. Webster was the man. Yep. These next two is more my era, a little before my era, but they both was nice on the field. Receivers. I don't know how much you know about James Newsome, but I do know you know Lateef Graham.
Oh, so James Newsome. When I remember playing college football, NCAA, you know what I'm saying? He's at Oregon State. He was like 99 speed, 99 overall on the video game.
Speed 99? Nah, not no speed 99. James.
Right, his speed was 99. Yeah,
Oh,
now he went to the NFL and ran like a 4.8.
yeah.
But
I played with him at Edison. He was never like the fastest guy. So I'm shocked that he put his speed 99.
They put his speed. Look it up, man.
It should be more like 89. James Mahomes.
They had him at 99. Like he was hella good on that game. But Graham, Graham a doggy. He's a doggy. And what he did at Pitt, and then what he continues to do. I'm gonna give Graham the edge only because of, obviously, playing college football, having, a little stint in the league and everything, but what he's done as a trainer, the amount of, All-Americans he's developed, what he continues, what he continues to do as a coach. I'm super excited this year.
Don't give him too much credit. You got to see this man this year.
I know I get to coach against him and
gotta see him.
Lincoln. So that's gonna be exciting stuff right there. But yeah, Grim, I'm gonna have to lean Grim on that one. That's tough though. Yeah, but Grim is, I mean, he's a legend in itself. So I'm gonna go with Lateef.
For my last one, one of them, I know you coached his son last year. I'm gonna go with Lance Martin Sr. or Chris Henry.
Oh man, Chris Henry, really good running back, but this is Lance all day. Lance is like the records he has at Stag. So Stag, you go into the locker room, it's all printed out. Like I haven't seen any other school that does this, but you can see like the top 25, like at every position. So like in every stat. So rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, career rushing yards. You could see everything throughout the entirety of Stag's program and what they've done. And Lance is up there at the top between him and
he still holds the record for most high school rushing yards. That
he had
2000.
Yeah, he had like 23 something.
Yeah.
And he did that without like a deep playoff run, right? Because T. Gross, he ran for a ton of yards. Louis Rankin, he ran for a ton of yards. Like those are guys running for over 2,000. But they also went to section title games where Stag didn't go to no section title game. So for Lance to have the season that he did, and scored like 30 touchdowns, and there wasn't, a lot of it, the ball's just going to him. Where even with Ty, it is not anything to take away, Tyrone or Lewis Rankin or any of those guys that put up crazy numbers. But, Ramon Glasgow had over 1,000 yards
Yeah.
rushing too.
Yeah.
They had a lot of guys really getting busy. Lance, it was like, it's all on Lance, so
you going with
nothing against Chris Henry. Chris Henry's my era. He's a little bit more my era. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go Lance on that one.
Because they both came from nowhere. They both didn't have really big Pop Warner careers. I know Chris used to play with me on the Vikings. He wasn't a guy like that. Chris just got fast out of nowhere. He was big, over 200 pounds, won the state in track, 200, I believe he won the state. And, he did go on to get be with the Titans for years, a few years. He's just never really done a lot at the NFL level, but he ended up going, like, at that time, I believe that was the highest a Stockton player had been in a long time. He went number 50, second round.
Yeah.
So, I definitely remember that because we was all kicking it for the draft night. I was with him the night he got drafted. All right, so before I let you go out of here, I need your Mount Rushmore. Your Mount Rushmore. This is the last question of the night. I need your Mount Rushmore. You got 4 spots of Stockton football. Yeah,
ooh, all right, man. Here we go. Mount Rushmore, Stockton football.
You've been doing good now. Don't mess this up.
I know. Ooh. I want to start with like a coach.
Any generations.
Yeah, I really want to start with like a coach. There's a coach that really sparked, African American coaches in Stockton. What's his last name? Washington? No.
Charles Washington. Sad. You talking about Charles Washington? I think he went to Edison.
Yep. So we're gonna put him up there. Boom. He on that.
RP to him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he on that Mount Rushmore.
That's something different. All right, you got 3 more. Give us 3 players.
Yeah, because that's just pioneer, paving the way for guys like myself, guys like you, coaching out here. So I'm gonna go him. I'm gonna go.
See, I should have had you do a coaching one, because then you would have had to put the Tom Burners and people like that.
Right. Yeah. But I'll start with him. I will go. I'm gonna go. Lateef Grimm. Because not just what he did as a player. Yeah, this is tough. And then some of it's like, all right, are we just looking at what they did in Stockton and what they meant to Stockton, or past? Because you look at a guy like Brandon Cooks and stuff like that, what he's done in the pros, or Tremaine Johnson. But I'm gonna go with Lavelle. I'm gonna go with Lavelle because I feel like, leading that, and not to say that Edison didn't have like talent like that, but for me now, understanding how difficult it is to reach and compete in section title games, and for Lavelle to be everything to that Edison team and go all the way, beat St. Mary's and do all that. You know what I'm saying?
Lavelle's junior year, he had a ton of talent. He had
I'm talking about his senior year though. Okay. His senior year, they went to section title.
They didn't have that much talent, because his junior year they had my cousin Reuben Jackson. They had like Neo. They had Chris Henry. They had JJ at quarterback.
They were loaded.
Talent his junior year, but they didn't go that far.
Yeah, but his senior year, they weren't as loaded. Now they did have Wesley Mawia. They had some guys, but he had a huge influence on that team going all the way to a section title game, and obviously just coming up just short against Grant.
They didn't even have no true quarterback that year.
Not really. They had Tony Gomez.
Like I said, they didn't have no true quarterback.
Tony was cool. Tony was cool out there. But
Tony was all right. He was decent though. He was decent.
Yeah. So but yeah, Hawk had such a huge influence on leading that team. So I'm gonna have to put him up there. So okay, I got Coach Washington, I got Grimm, I got Hawk, And I'm gonna have to go with my guy Tyrone Gross, the
Tyrone.
first team in Stockton history to win a section title. And he ran for over 2,000 yards, 40 plus touchdowns.
Nice.
No team in Stockton history won a section title before that Lincoln 2000 squad.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
That's just something where it's like nobody else did. Matter of fact,
but I believe.
I don't think.
I believe after more time, Raleigh and Jonah would definitely be some of the top when they're done.
They didn't have, because again, especially when we're talking about the best of the best, right? They had great high school careers. What are the accolades in the sense of like Stockton football outside of, going D1 and all that, that's great, right? But there's a lot of D1 NFL. Should we mention dudes like Shante Carver and Kennard, Derek Kennard? Like there's a lot of guys that
JD Hill,
did great things, NFL, all that. But if we're just talking about just high school football and in Stockton and the importance of the seasons and careers that those guys had, winning a section title, being the first school in Stockton history to win a section title, doesn't, and they didn't have state championships and stuff back then, but I bet Lincoln would have competed for that. So, Tyrone, he was the bell cow for all that, running for over 2,000 yards and 40 plus touchdowns. So, you gotta put T Gross. Got to put T Gross up there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate your time, man. I didn't expect to go so long. I do got Ernie. I'm going to bring Ernie on from Chase Chevrolet. I'm going to bring him on. Any last shout outs you want to fill us in? I know you got your podcast. Where can people follow you at and where can people support? I know you got a Niner podcast going on, right?
Yeah. So I record Locked On 49ers, number one 49ers podcast in the world. It feels good to be able to say that. I've been doing it now myself, my co-host. We are since he was running it by himself since 2017, and then I jumped in 2021. So 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yep, this year was my 5th year, so I'm going on year 6. And we record 5 episodes per week. Yep, Locked On 49ers. I'm actually more known for a podcast than I am with anything football that I do. Like
I didn't know you've been doing that long. You like the podcast Godfather out here. Then if you've been doing it,
nobody really knows. I mean, it's well, I don't want to say nobody knows.
I've been seeing you do it, but I ain't seen it lately.
Well, I don't post. I really don't post it like. It's not like I post it on Instagram or on Facebook or anything like that. But it's a daily thing. I mean, we get
2024. I used to see it. Like I used to see it. I don't know why.
Yeah, we get.
Where can they follow it at?
Oh, everywhere. YouTube.
And what is
Apple Pods. Locked On 49ers.
Locked On 49ers. Okay, y'all make sure y'all follow that.
15 to 25,000 listeners daily.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we do our thing with that, man, and it's exciting. And the 49er fan base, man, they show hell of love. My son thinks it's crazy. He thinks it's glazed because he goes to a game with me, and there's people, try to take pictures and stuff like that. And he's like, "What the heck?" Like,
my bro, they recognize you from the podcast.
Oh, you wouldn't believe it, bro. Like, yeah, it's crazy. My bro Donald, he loves going to 49er games because he's like, and we like to go to the away ones, but they show so much love. We don't pay for drinks. We get into everywhere like VIP and everything. So now the 49er fan base shows me a lot of love, man.
I need to go to you. I need to go with you to a 49er game.
Nah, you go, man. Hey,
you
listen, man.
Drinks.
Let me know, man.
Drinks
you
is high.
Want to go to a game? You want to go to a game? I got somebody that I actually just like watching games from the comfort of my home, and then I podcast immediately after them with my co-host. But I can go to any home game, and I got somebody that would shoot us tickets. So,
all right, yeah, we got to do that this next year, man. Coming up, man.
Yep.
I just went to my first 49er game. My birthday of 2024, Shout out to my bro Tommy Carr. He got season passes and he didn't go. He couldn't make it that day, so he's like, bro, I'm gonna give you these for your birthday. Go ahead and have a good time. And he actually gave me a couple. I went to a couple. I've been to like 4 games now. The first 3 we lost, and I was like, man, let me quit going to these games. And I finally went to one. To my boy Chess, he gave me and my bro QP tickets. Well, we all went together this past year against the Panthers, and we won that game. So that was the first 49er game I actually got to see us win in person. But any shout outs before you go? Any messages you want to say to anybody?
Nah, man. Shout out Stockton and I'm big 209. Anything that has to do with Stockton, I'm all for it. I love our city so much. I feel like there's a lot of positive, even though everybody tries to always talk about, the negative things that we have going on. But man, shout out Stockton. Shout out to this podcast, man. I think this is going to be something great for people to be able to come on here and speak. So, and shout out to you, man, for setting this up, man. I appreciate
it. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to get some of your players on, man, after some games. That's what I want to do, too, start getting players on once the season starts and all that, So I will be reaching out to some of your players, like my little fam Zoe, and
Zoe's gonna do big things this year, man. Just picked up the Washington State offer. There's gonna be plenty more that come his way during this offseason. So only currently a sophomore, his junior year is gonna have a big junior year.
Yeah, well, I tip my hat to you, brother, man. Continue doing great things for the city, for these kids, man. We need more people like you. And, man, just much success for this year. I'll be at some of the games for sure, rooting and supporting.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, now.
All right. All right, y'all. I'm finna bring Ernie up. Ernie, give me one moment. I'm going to take a quick bathroom intermission. I'll be right back. I'm going to leave y'all with some music. Let's go some Ball and Chain by Craig and Sarita. So y'all be back in like 1 minute, and I'll bring up Ernie from Chase Chevrolet and present an award to him, a certificate. So give me one minute, y'all. I'll leave y'all with some music, though. Ball and Chain by Miss X and Incredible.
Name my son Prince, bitch, don't act like you ain't never seen a king. Why every time I come through you broke? McDonald's ice cream machine, Jersey purple, weed purple. Nah, nigga, I don't need the lean. No PPP, no EDD. When your name good, you don't need the scheme. Hog status, we the team. Flex on niggas, no creatine. Black diamond, I don't need the bling. Bitch, I'm the bad, got jet lag. From Hollywood flights on Hollywood nights. Made porn stars pay for that ding-a-ling.
Hit the nigga line like ring-a-ling. See if he wanna come mingling. He told me money don't mean a thing, and he give me the kind that's sprinkling, not jingling. If he ain't bring me bling, I'm being mean. Gotta really know how to treat a queen, but I'm treating back, and that's why he on a knee giving me the ring. Weave is clean, weed is preem. Put Kenny on your man like a Brini Green. Nigga sleep, me the dream. Wake him up then, no evening. I peep the scene, I don't see a thing. You houses wash, but ain't even clean. Ball and chains, Hall of Fame. Married to the game, can't be a fleen. Ball and chains, Hall of Fame. Married to the game, can't be a fleen.
From Hollywood flights on Hollywood nights, made porn stars pay for that ding-a-ling.
Keep talking all of that shit you talking about, fuck around and find out. Keep talking all of that shit you talking about, fuck around and find out. Ball and chains, Hall of Fame. Married to the game, can't be a fleen.
From Hollywood flights on Hollywood.
All right, y'all, I'm back. At this time, I would like to bring up a special guest as I present something to him, y'all. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Hey, Ernie. Sorry it took so long.
Mac?
Our interview was gonna go that long. When you know people, the conversation just keep flowing.
Hey, bro, you should have had the OG on first, because you know I got a bedtime, and Croc is probably going to bed at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, he gonna be up all night, strategizing for his new season. No,
that's right.
Glad to have you on.
Right.
But I decided to go last because yours ain't gonna be more of an interview. It's just gonna be more. We want to present something to you, but you can go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Okay, my name is Ernie Rodriguez. They call me E-Rod. I've been over at Chase Chevrolet since 2001. Born and raised here in Stockton, California, on the east side of Stockton. Like I mentioned to you earlier, I went to Montezuma, Hamilton, and Franklin. I love our community. I love our kids. It doesn't matter what high school. I'm all about helping kids. It's not Stagg, Edison, Franklin, Tokay, whatever. It's helping kids. And I'm blessed to work at the best dealership in Northern Cali. Chase Chevrolet, family owned since 1944. Started with King Chase and my boss, well, his dad Bill Chase, and now my boss John Chase. And it's so awesome that my boss, thinks like me and helping the community. And that being said, I'm blessed to be able to piggyback and all the things that I'm thinking he's doing. So yeah, I'm here and to serve our community, man.
All right, I will ask you a couple questions. So what made you get into when did you, and what made you get into supporting local athletes and throughout the 209?
Okay, so as I said, like I went to the schools, Montezuma, Hamilton, Franklin. I love sports. I love I love football, basketball, and baseball, but I only got to play one sport, and that was basketball because my dad was a farm laborer contractor. I had to help him, so he only let me play one sport, which it hurt, but it's all good. So that being said, I know how hard it is to get a pair of tennis shoes. I know how hard it is to get to practice, to get home for practice. Because I remember when I was at, because I played for St. Gertrude's, and when I was younger, and you name some names. I'm going to name a few names before your time, but I had on my St. Gertrude's team, I had Fred Taylor, Daryl Smothers, I had Jerome Gross, and right ahead of us was
Bubba Gross. Gross, right?
No, Bubba, I think is his
brother.
Brother.
Yeah. Those names get brought up. My uncle and my dad and them. They was friends of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So they all played on my basketball team. We played from 4th through the 8th, and back then they used to cut. They cut in the 4th grade, meaning I used to have knots in my stomach. There was no, hey, we're gonna keep you on the B team. Nah, you're gone. So, anyways, I went through, played at St. Gertrude's, then went to Franklin. I was not no standout athlete, but I just loved the game and I loved playing. So there again, I got to play the sport I loved. That it cost money to play, and my parents really, they didn't really have the money to, buy all this and buy the gear, buy this stuff, buy that. So now graduating, and I told myself, if I ever get in a position where I can help kids do what they love to do, because I think sports is the best thing for kids. It gives them structure, guidance, and you're playing with energy, so you put that up in life and learn from your coaches. And I'll tell you what, without basketball, I wouldn't have graduated Franklin High, because I graduated Franklin High with a 2.0, bro, and that's because of basketball. Because I remember my 9th grade year, Mr. Ramirez, my coach for the 9th grade, said, hey, E, you need to get a 2.0 or you ain't going to be playing basketball. And I'm like, man, what's that, a car? 2.0? No, that's your grade point average. Because my parents didn't preach the books or nothing, it was all work. And so that being said, because of basketball, I graduated, Franklin. I was like no outstanding student or athlete, but I got to meet a lot of people. You were talking about Webster Slaughter. Well, Webster Slaughter, I was a sophomore when he was a senior, and I got to play on they moved me up with him, Simi Holland, Richard Reed, Calvin Hayes. I got to play with them, and those guys are on the east of Franklin. They're legends. Michael Hester, I never got to play with him, but I got to watch him. Yeah, I never got to play with him, but I got my brother-in-law, my late brother-in-law, Raul, used to take me to the old Franklin gym, and I used to watch him dunk the ball. And the guy, I don't know how tall he is. He ain't that tall. But
he ain't that tall.
He can jump out the gym. So now fast forward, and me obviously going through life of I never knew I was going to be a salesman at Chase Chevrolet. I've been a laborer all my life, but my dad bought all of his vehicles downtown Chase. And, you know, I always had a connection. You know, my story is from 86 to 2001. I commuted from Stockton to Stanford University. I did that for 15 years, 93 miles one way. I worked over there. I did all the events and services, graduations, basketball. I did grunt work. But then there's this union president one day before the internet even was, you know, they had the internet. It was like he was on this workbench, and I get to the university real early because I left at 3:30 in the morning. Got up at 3, left at 3:30, got there about 5:30, and had I used to have coffee with the union president, Jim Keck, and I remember him one day on this bench, and he had all kinds of papers, the Mercury, the Chronicle, you know, all these papers. And I'll say, "What are you doing, Jim?" He goes, this is like probably 92. I'm gonna buy me a Chevy Short Wide. I said, Chevy Short Wide? Oh, I know a guy. I got the connection. And now I know what I did back then is what I'm doing now, making sure he's getting protected. So what I did is I had a connection, the GM, John Ferraiolo. And John Ferraiolo was like, he was not only actually a friend back then, but a mentor when I joined his team, but he gave me the numbers. I brought the numbers back to my union president, and I didn't want nothing. I just wanted him to get a good, you know, deal. He goes, "Oh no, Stockton dealership ain't gonna do anything. Got these Bay Area dealerships." He looked at those numbers. He said, "Ernie, can you meet me at that place Saturday?" I said, "For what, Jim?" "I want to buy that Chevy Short Wide." Hey, he came down. He bought that Chevy Short Wide. I didn't want nothing. I was so happy for my friend. And if you ever been to Stanford University, there's campus, it's called Campus Drive. It goes all around the university. And I had my big work truck, and my handle was Labor 6. And it was like high volt shop, high volt 6, Labor 6. Can you pull over? I pulled over. He says, "Hey, Ernie, Jim says, you know, you're the connection. I need an S10. I'm like, "What?" I said, I was getting pulled over left and right. And man, I was like, "Man, this is crazy. I've already helped out probably 80 people from that in 92 to, you know, whatever, 2000, 80, you know, yeah, right. And I was just helping them out. One day I'm driving my, cause I commuted, I created a commuter van where I drove both ways. And these guys that from Stockton and Tracy, they said, "If you drive, you don't have to pay." I said, "That pay, I'm good." I drove both ways. And I remember saying, "Man, you know what? I'm going over the Altamont and I see a Chase Chevrolet sponsored bus, commuter bus going over it, the Altamont with me." And I'm like, "Man, what am I good at, man?" You know, I love people. You know, I love cars. I love old school cars. Hey, I helped out over 80 people. Man, I know the GM. I'm going to ask him if I can come over there to Chase Chevrolet. And I did. And, you know, that's what started it. I learned from him, and it kept learning. But see, now I'm in a position, I'm learning, right? And I'm there, and I'm the top producer there just by listening and learning and hungry. I was always hungry. I'm still hungry today. And I'm competitive. And now I'm in a position where now I see my dealership, I see John Chase Chevrolet into the little leagues, into like the church ball, into the community, baseball, basketball, football. I'm like living the dream. And I'm like, now and then I get to meet friends like Laval Hawkins, Tim Brown. I got to see Laval play. I got to see Tim. Man, this is so cool. And now I get to help them with their credit, start them with credit. I get that, you know, this is stuff that, you know, now the dealership's doing, and I'm piggybacking, and I'm doing a little bit of what out of my pocket for them. And I just get to see everybody grow, man. And I'm doing it, like I said, at the best dealership in Stockton, Chase Chevrolet. So that's just a little bit about my background story,
And,
man.
and it's crazy because I never got to personally meet you, but I always seen you like with pictures with Lavelle or with different people, and I'm like, who is this dude at this? Is he giving these dudes free cars or what's going on with this dude? But your pictures with different people all the time. So I've been seeing you for some years now.
Yeah.
And
well, we got brother Gary Starworth back there. His family's really well known for in the auto industry. Mr. Starworth and all they got a lot of history. And I, me and him, he's like my brother, man. We chatted up and see, like I said, I'm from the east side. So when I heard, because these guys are not only customers of mine, everybody that I just mentioned, but they're my friends. So when I heard Coach Guyton, because I teased him 10 years ago, man. Why don't you come to Franklin? I'm not going to Franklin. Why don't you come to Franklin? No. And even Tim, because Tim's from Franklin. Yeah, I want to, but they just they need a lot more than me. And so when Coach Guyton told me this, I was like, oh man, he's not only gonna help for football, but he's gonna help the kids in life, like what you mentioned earlier, and the East Side community needs it. We need him, like we need his coaching staff over there, and it's so awesome that now we get to help them in Chase Chevrolet, meaning we help out every school. We help every school. That's what we're known for, right? Helping schools and so when Guyton mentioned that to me, I was like, oh man, I'm not saying it's going to be tough for him but he's gonna have a plan, and now we just got to get the East Side community kids,
the talent,
to buy into it. Yep.
And said now, like a lot of the East Side kids, they're going elsewhere. They don't want to go to Franklin, and it's not because of the coaching, because Franklin never put sports up there at the top of the frame. Like it took them a while to get a field and everything. Franklin used to never have any home games because their field had gopher holes and stuff in it.
It was Edison, bro. It was Edison. Our home games were at Edison. I used to run that, what you just mentioned there, gopher holes. I used to tell my mom, I'll be right back, Mom. I'm going to go to Franklin. I'm going to run a few miles, and I'd go run. I'd come back with a sprained ankle, bro. Because of the gopher holes. Yeah,
that's well known at Franklin. Yeah, because I actually played there. We did have a game there. With Lance, not Lance, but Gabe Martin and them. We did play there 1 year, my high school year. We did play at Franklin, and it was terrible. The field was terrible. So it's good too, because I've been coaching for the East Side Yellow Jackets for the last 4 years.
Well, that's good, bro. I heard that. I'm happy about that. Like it's because that's where it starts, right? It starts right there in the young. You're working with those are grassroots right there.
Yeah, and too, it was definitely too. My first year over there, I got the first JV Super Bowl at the Yellow Jackets.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, we went undefeated. We went undefeated and got a Super Bowl. So RIP to Coach Sandoval, that's the person. That was the reason why I've been over there so long. For the last 4 years was because I love and respect Coach Sandoval. He just recently passed away this year.
Man.
Gary said Ernie been helping kids and athletes in Stockton for the last 20 years nonstop. Yeah, and that's why we have him on tonight, because we're definitely going to give him his flowers tonight. You say you're from the East Side, so you probably know my family. My family's from out east. They all tall. Nate Davis, he played basketball. Larry Davis, and my dad was Danny Davis. They called him Dinko. We grew up on Washington Street, Washington and Lafayette.
Oh, you guys grew up on Washington?
Yeah, I'm on Washington now. That's still my grandmother's house, but she also stayed on Lafayette too. So we know all the Ernies and the Mike Hesters and all of them. They're real familiar with my family, and my family know everybody. Out east is like a family, a community of family members.
You know what? I've never been over the 99, bro. I was in East Side Okieville, bro. I met
Oh, okay. You was over.
Hispanic family in the East Side. Oh, but like all my friends from Montezuma and Hamilton, they were at Nightingale. I used to ride my bike over there, and they used to ride their bikes to my house. But it's a thing where the only time I went over is I remember to go to St. Gertrude's because that's where the gym was. And I
Yeah.
don't know if you ever been to that gym. That
Yeah,
gym was like,
I used to play youth basketball. We used to go to St. Gertrude's and play. They had leagues there.
okay, so you never got tired in that gym.
I think it
gym
was
was-
hot. If I remember correctly, it was always hot though.
Yeah, that full court was like half court.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely got memories of St. Gertrude's. So what exactly have you been doing like with the athletes and stuff like that out here?
Well, what we do is, like right now we help them with like equipment. We help them. We're going to be helping Coach Guy now with ties. I guess he came over. We're gonna help them with that. There's like the list goes on. Me personally, man, I had a brand new leg press. Okay, and you can ask Coach Guyton and Lynch. Brand new leg press commercial in my home gym. I have a home gym, and I just felt like, you know what? I went to Edison. I go, man, I donated that. I didn't want nothing back. I called up Tim Brown. I said, Tim, man, I want to. You guys, yeah, we can use it. Okay, so I donated a commercial leg press, brand new, and a T-bar Rogue T-bar. So me personally, I did that, but my dealership, Chase Chevrolet, oh man, it's for Edison. I don't know. There's like so much we've done for Edison. Stag, it's nonstop, and that's just for the program of football, baseball, basketball. Lincoln, I just got through going because they needed, asked for some help with their baseball. Me personally, I just went this past Saturday, and I was representing the dealership. But the sky's the limit, man. To my boss said a few years back, he goes, Ernie, I don't want to do nothing with politics, man. I want to do stuff with our local community kids, elementary, middle school, high school. They need it now. I'm going to help them now. And I said, man, I feel the same way. Our kids need us now. So for him doing that, and like there's just like programs, the things that are going on around the Stockton, man, I see it every day. But it's so I'm blessed to be there to like actually, and me too. I always say, hey, why don't you guys send me a schedule so I can go watch you guys play? And some do, some don't. But I just like there's so much going on in sports in Stockton. My Bluetooth went out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, it's going out. Anyways, so the saying of what do we exactly do? We do like a lot, and that's just a few things right there.
I wish I would have knew about you beforehand years ago, because a lot of the youth programs I be with, they need help. They need people to come in and make donations, help and get equipment, different things. Like I had issues with some of the teams. Like, man, it's hard to get these linemen to block because we never had sleds. Stuff when I go to the Bears, we didn't have none of that.
Mac, that's what I tell my boss. I says, man, it's crazy how my old high school or the Franklin area, the people, they don't ask for nothing, man. And we got Stag, Edison, we got every freaking program, every. And I'm like, man, I already know just being at that school. And I mentioned to Carlos Franco, I mentioned to a few other people there that, hey, why don't you hit us up? And I think Alfonso for football hit us up one time, but I don't think he's coaching there no more. DeVille, he played for Franklin way back, but yeah, no, I'm with you, man. Obviously, if you're still there, hey, we're down to help.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to high school, but if I don't go high school this year, I will be back at the Yellow Jackets another season. But
Are
right
you gonna be you working with Guyton? Like you guys in connection together?
Guyton, I know I've been knowing Guyton for a long time, but no, I am going to give him a call because I know he probably needs some help over there with the coaching staff, and I am looking to go coach for high school. I really wanted to be at Edison with Croc this year, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But after doing 15 years of youth football, like I'm ready to go high school, and but certain.
Gotcha.
It may be too late because you know myself, I'm like well experienced in this, and I think I'm a great play caller, so I'm looking for stuff that could fit my needs, that would be best for me, so I don't want to just go be at the bottom of the totem pole.
Gotcha.
But sometimes you got to work your way up, but
yeah,
I'm being stubborn. I don't want to work my way up. I want to come in. I want to call plays. I want to either be a head coach or offensive coordinator on one level. I think I deserve it. But
and the kids need you, man. The kids need our community kids need positive influencers out there in coaching. So like keep up the great work, man. You'll get snatched.
Yeah, sooner or later, one of these coaches, like if you good, sometimes like. They gonna come get you. That's I just been keeping the faith on that. Like my catalog, my whole record, and all I done in the community, it speaks for itself. So I just hope that sooner or later I will be able to grow and advance to the high school level. If not this year, next year. So I will be giving Booker a call. Also, so it's a lot of people that I'm cool with that's at these schools, and I'm like, man, why ain't none of y'all called me? Graves, but Graves, I ain't gonna hold Graves in because he did tell me come out. He did tell me come out there, and even Graham at Lincoln. But I'm not.
I just actually helped out Graham in Queen with their son. They got him a vehicle, so it's cool like that, man. I get to see these kids come through. Over there, Graham's kid's got skills. I believe he's a receiver. And,
Darion, but he got another younger one that's going to be a freshman this year that I coach for 7-on-7. He's gonna be a problem in high school.
Oh shoot! Keep them coming.
Yeah. Were you around when Coach Werner was coaching at Frankfurt?
I was at the games. I was at every freaking one of those games because Mario.
I was going to say he probably bought a couple cars for some of them players from you.
Yeah, I was not working at Chase back then, but Mario, my wife's cousin, played for Franklin. He's a lineman, and Hayes was playing for them. I think it was Hayes and. I think Strong played from. They had like a great squad, man.
Yeah.
They were undefeated, and I went to every single game, and I remember going to that last game, and this game ain't even, they can't go any further because all that stuff that was going on. But man, what I loved about it because I went to Franklin, we never beat St. Mary's.
Vern actually came from St. Mary's to Franklin.
That's right. He sure did.
He took Frank Strong with him. Too. That's what I remember about Vern. Vern, like a couple players, he'll help any kid in need. You need your rent paid, go to Vern. you need, hey, coach, I'm having problems getting to practice. Don't worry about it. I'll have your car there delivered to you on Monday. And Vern would do all this stuff for players, which it was probably illegal back then, but Vern was doing what he needed to do. So definitely RP to Vern. Coach Vern was a great coach. But yeah, I'm not going to hold you too long, but I would like to let you know that the Not Afraid to Lose podcast and the Trefo 3 Foundation would like to give you your flowers for all you have done for the local sports team and present to you a certificate recognizing you as the supporter of the decade. We'll be dropping the certificate off to you within the next few days. So we just want to let you know we appreciate all you have been doing for the local athletes. And we just encourage you to continue doing what you're doing. And now that I'm connected to you, I will be reaching out to you myself and seeing, if we can get some other things going.
Absolutely, bro. It's all about helping our community. each of it. Don't hate, congratulate, man. I like to see. I want to see. We all. Instead of talking about people, help people. That's what it's all about. Help these kids. Don't talk about it, help them. That's where we grew up. It's just like sometimes not all people, not all everybody. People want to see people fail. They know, man. You help these kids. They're not a number like DMV. And I appreciate the flowers. I'll put it up in my office. Which, if you ever been in my office, I got his grandpa brought over a picture. He goes, Ernie, I see all these pictures. I'm going to bring you a picture. And so he brought me a picture of his grandson, and it was just in a poster. Like, I said, okay, the next time you come, you're going to see you're going to see what's up. And so he came, and I had it professionally framed, and it's in my office right now, along with, you got Nate Diaz, Nick Diaz, and you got all these, we got the speed racer, JoJo Stearns. We got all these community kids that, along with Ralik and obviously Laval and Tim, but that award to be in my office, and it'll be represented right there, and everybody will see it. Can you keep doing what you're doing, bro? That's how long ago did you create this?
Oh, this is the first episode of the Not Afraid to Lose podcast. I have the Black and Mickey's podcast that I do myself, where I support and showcase local talent. Also, I do interviews. Like, I interviewed the mayor, I interviewed Jason Lee, I interviewed Juan the Diver. I do a lot for my Black and Mickey's podcast. So the opportunity presented itself to me. I had been talking about doing this podcast for the last year and a half, and we finally get it underway to take off. So this is the very first podcast of the Not Afraid to Lose. Very first episode.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate it, and I love Coach Croc. I actually helped Coach Croc with his vehicle too, and all of them, man. They're all good people. Good, we're so blessed to have Coach Croc and Guyton and Laval, Tim, Baker, all these coaches out there helping, and man, and obviously you here. So I appreciated everything. I know it's late, and Croc did a great interview. I was listening to it. I was like, man, this is good, man. So
yeah, I think it's definitely going to do some things for the community. Like I said, we don't have no local sports casts out here. None of our local our kids get back in the day. They used to get newspaper articles, and when we have Stockton Sportsnet too. We missed that. We missed the Stockton Sportsnet because they used to cover a lot of local talent out here, and we don't have nobody doing that. So I definitely wanted to take advantage of this opportunity and start supporting the local talent, the local athletes out here. So
back in the day, bro, we couldn't wait for that Stockton record to come to see this, who won, who's in first, who's second. I just read the sports. I know the rest, the local and the sports, and then the rest of the paper. But yeah, no, this is going to take off. Yeah. Keep up the great work, man.
And I missed that myself because I used to wake up at 6 a.m. and read the newspaper. My grandma, we had the newspaper delivered, and that's the first place I went to was the local sports thing. And a lot of people was ecstatic to have their names in the paper. People still got clips from years ago.
That's right.
And stuff.
Yeah, I clipped out a lot of them. I was back in the day, there was a 3-on-3 Hoop It Up. And I got my partner, Chris Washington, who I got, Bryant Braskett, and who else? Jack Werner. These three basketball players, we'd go to different towns and play on a 3-on-3 Hoop It Up. JC, as far as JC, the level of JC, and they had us on the front page of the sports because we took it all, and stuff like that. It was exciting, but we don't have that no more. So
old school Hoop It Up, yeah. Old school, I remember Hoop It Up. That was very big, yeah. Even the and one coming, out here, you know. Shout out to my boy Shante Gales, 757. He was a part of that and one.
Man, those are the days.
Well, I'm gonna give you a time to plug because it is tax season, Ernie. So people want their cars. People are gonna be buying their cars. So we're gonna help you get a little business in there. So let people know
Hey,
where
listen,
they can come
guys.
get a car. They get the best deals in Stockton. You're gonna hook them up. You're gonna show them the love. Let them
Yeah,
know where you at.
you know this. Mr. Braggs told me, Andre Braggs. He said, one time he said, my niece is looking for a car, and she told me, Uncle, I want a cheap car. And Andre goes, he calls me, tells me, he goes, I told her, you don't want a cheap car, you want a reliable car. So that being said, I'm 31 flavors over at Chase Chevrolet on the pre-owned side. We got every make and model, as long as it's a good car, and I'll help you guys with a good car. I help people with credit. I help people regardless. I'm going to help you and I'm going to guide you. Hey, I was the kid out of the East Side. If I was a kid that didn't have credit. I was a kid that didn't have the. So I look at it. If I can help somebody, one person a day do better, man, come on down. Yeah, my number is 209-403-2224. That's my cell. My nickname's Erod, Team Erod. Come down or just give me follow me on Instagram, Erod, E/Erod. I don't know how, I'm on Instagram. You'll follow me. I'll
right here on Facebook.
Or on Facebook too. You can, follow me on Facebook. But yeah, I'm on Instagram too. And that's the thing. Awareness is everything. And what you just said to plug, well, people don't know that there's a person out there that I was them. I was them. Everything's possible. I don't get in my position at Chase Chevrolet being the number one salesman at Chase Chevrolet for 2 decades. I do it. It's if I can do that, you guys can do it. It's our community, man. I couldn't do anything without my community. So you guys are helping me, man. Come on down. You call me that cell number. I'm down to help you. And it's like, hey, that's what I do, man.
Where you located at?
6441 Holman Road, Stockton, California. We are not in the auto center. We are across from the old Walmart. I don't know if you guys remember the old Walmart right there on Holman. Right across the street, it's that huge Chevy dealership. That's Chase Chevrolet.
The old Walmart. What you mean by Burlington?
Yeah, that's right. Right there across the street on Holman, right there.
Walmart was over there?
Yeah, Walmart was right next to Burlington. Walmart took that whole area.
Oh, yeah, that's been so long ago. Yeah, Walmart was over there. Yeah, okay.
That's right. So we're all by ourselves over there. We're not in the auto mall. But I'm a contact man, and so I always like to look at it. I'm a business within a business. Like I work at Chase Chevrolet, but when I open my doors, it's Team Erod Motors, man. I like it's like anybody I'm touching, I'm loving and caring for them to help them. So not take advantage. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys for this the award. I appreciate Mac. You get me on here, and I'm flattered and honored to be you guys, along with Coach Croc, the first on the first podcast.
First episode, going down in history. It's going down in history.
That's right. Not afraid to lose. We not
lose. RIP Trey 43. Hey, so yeah, we appreciate for you having you on, man. I will be in touch with you. And you keep doing great things for you that you can do for the community. I know, hey, you can't just give cars away, but if y'all need help with credit and going on the right path, getting a new car, it's tax season. Everybody is looking for a car.
That's right, man. Hey, you got a down payment. I'll get you that low payment and help you out, man. Just like that's the thing. You have a car, you can go make those ends. That's what's up. Get a good car. That's why I mentioned pre-owned, because a lot of people but Chase Chevrolet don't have used cars. Well, we have the hugest used car department in Northern California. It's just a matter of contacting me and I'll help you out. You can even ask Brother Gary about that Starworth.
Yeah. For sure. Anything else you want to say before we head out?
No, that's about it. And yes, I thank you again, and keep helping these kids. Will it's awesome that you guys started this, and you've been involved with coaching for, like you said, was it 15 years? Keep
15 years, man.
keep
I
doing what
feel,
you, and hopefully you could get some more ties with Franklin, because I don't know how Coach Guyton's going to do the feeder program, because he's going to, because I always believe in that it starts over there in Pop Warner, man. So
yeah,
yeah, so hopefully that he gets that straight too. But yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. But hey, with the help of our community, the East Side community, and I believe he's going to do a good job.
yeah. So I will be reaching out to you because I do a lot from my my original podcast, the Black and Mickey's podcast, but I'm gonna be doing some of the same things from this podcast, like we do. Like I gave we had, well, I help with like we did a turkey drive in 2024. Organization needed help getting turkeys, so we was able to get donations and donate over 50 turkeys to the community, Conway Homes community. And after doing that, somebody reached out to me. They was doing a coat drive for kids, giving kids Christmas presents. So we was able to also donate 50 brand new coats. Just using my platform, man, just to help out the community. And I want to
That's
get
what's
back
up.
to doing
Let's
more.
go. Let's go, man. That's what's up. But
You
well,
know,
you got my number. I locked you into mine,
yeah.
Mac. You just get a hold of us, man. Get a hold of me, and give us a little time notice. We're going to do this month, and we'll make it. We'll bring that to life.
Okay, I appreciate you.
Okay, appreciate you
All right.
too. Let's see how I get out of this. What button do I hit, Mac? Dog?
I'm gonna get you out right here.
All
All
right.
right, have a good night, Ernie.
You have a good night too.
All right, y'all. All right, dope, man. I like the way this first episode went. We had nice conversation. Shout out to new head coach at Edison High School, Eric Crocker. Shout out to Ernie Erod Rodriguez from Chase Chevrolet. It was an honor presenting him the best supporter of the last decade with the local sports community. Just want both of them good brothers to continue doing the good work that they're doing in the community. I'm definitely going to continue doing what I'm doing for the community. So, yeah, I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. Hey, I will be back up. Going live, playing some music, playing some jams tonight, y'all, on the Black and Mickey's podcast. So I'm going to cut off here and transformate back to the Black and Mickey's podcast, because we're running two podcasts now. I'm running this on this is streaming live, not just on Facebook, but also on YouTube under the Black and Mickey's podcast. But I will be starting a Not Afraid to Lose channel on YouTube also. So until I do that, y'all make sure y'all go follow the Black and Mickey's podcast on YouTube, because this is also running right now on my YouTube channel. So y'all go follow that until I start the Not Afraid to Lose channel on YouTube. So we're streaming from two sites, and sooner or later I will. It's a little harder doing the YouTube. I mean, not the YouTube, but the TikTok and Instagram. But I will figure that out. So we'll be streaming on. I don't have Twitch, so I ain't gonna be streaming on Twitch. I did have a Twitch. Maybe I will pull up my old Twitch. But we definitely will be streaming and then bringing you interviews at least once a week, Mondays. Our plan is to do it every Monday. So we got an interview coming up next week. I believe it's, hold on, because I don't want to get the line. Let me check, because I know we have the Chavez coach, Derek Graves Jr., scheduled to come up. I believe it's next week, or it might be Tim next week. So we got those are the next two, I believe. We got Tim Brown, co-owner of the factory, We got him coming up for an interview, and we got Derek Graves, the head football coach of the Chavez Titans. So I'll be posting it, letting y'all know. I can't find, I got to find which date that we set it up for with them. But yeah, that'll be, so we'll be back next Monday, each and every Monday, either 6 or 7. Our original plan was to start at 6, but we worked with other people's schedules, so we had to start this one at 7. So either 6 or 7 every Monday night. Make sure y'all be tuned in to the Not Afraid to Lose podcast, y'all. Got a lot of things coming up, y'all. We got some big plans coming up. We'll be giving away gifts, different stuff, different Not Afraid to Lose merchandise. We'll have all that. We'll be doing giveaways. We'll be asking questions. We'll be doing a lot over here, y'all. This is just the first episode, y'all. But much more to come. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all share the live too. When y'all come in, make sure y'all share the live, because we're trying to get more people. The more people that we get involved, the more awareness and that we can spread to this, and we can get these local athletes a platform to be seen and heard. So yeah, I also will be interviewing local athletes. I definitely got a few in mind that I want to interview. I would like to. I'm gonna hit my cousin Jonah up. I would like to interview him. Definitely as he prepare for this NFL draft coming up in June, I believe the draft is. Also, trying to get Raleigh Brown on here. And I'm gonna be reaching out to a lot of people, so definitely waiting on a couple people to hit me up on Facebook. I inbox a few people. I'm waiting on them. Oh, we will be having Coach Book on here also. I'm trying to get Lionel Hamilton on. I'm gonna be trying to be interviewing a lot of people throughout this podcast. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. I was planning on doing one interview, but now I'm thinking with all the people I want to interview, I kind of think I want to interview 2 people a night, but just kind of keep it long. I didn't expect to go that long with Eric Crocker. I was thinking an hour, but when you interviewing somebody, it just flows and the conversation just keep going, and he has a story, and I definitely enjoyed his story because that's a lot of things I didn't know about his path to where he started to where he's at now. So I definitely learned a lot just from him tonight. So y'all make sure y'all support the podcast. Make sure y'all tell the people about it. And people usually can't comment if they're not my friends on Facebook, but they have to, if they can follow me, I believe they can comment. And if you can't comment on Facebook, like I said, it's running also through YouTube on the Black and Mickey's podcast, with Mickey spelled Mickey. Hey, no E at the end. All right. So if you came in and wanted to comment and couldn't, it's because you're not a friend or you're not following me on Facebook. But you don't need to be a friend or anything if you go like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And soon I will have a Not Afraid to Lose YouTube channel, y'all. And this is a very special podcast to me because it's in honor of Trey Breckenridge, a young man that I have known for quite some time that ended up passing away due to a car accident a few years back. Great young man, very a leader in not only just on the football field, but also on the basketball courts. And Trey has a dope story. If you haven't, make sure you go check out the Not Afraid to Lose movie. They're putting out a new edition of it, so that's in the works right now also. So y'all make sure y'all support that too, because I like the first two. They already put two out, and I was able to go to both of them. So y'all make sure y'all go support that. Not Afraid to Lose. Get the merch. Hit me up if you're trying to get some merch. They got the sweaters, the hoodies. They got the beanies. I believe there's hats. It's a lot of different merch, and I will be doing some giveaways of the Trefo 3 merch. This is the brand new ones that they have out, and this is my favorite ones. I have a few of these hoodies, but this is kind of like my favorite one. And it's different colors in it also, but the material that's used on this one is excellent. They did a real good job with this. So y'all make sure y'all follow, support. So until next week, though, this has been a great episode of the first episode of the Not Afraid to Lose podcast. I appreciate my guests that I had on tonight. I appreciate everybody that watched tonight. Make sure y'all share this so the people that missed it can see it. All right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. Y'all already know, holla at the Mac, and I'ma holla back, y'all. We out, 4-3 style. Go.